Alive, I believe, live. And welcome everyone to the 40th episode of Playtest This. Tonight, I didn't actually ask how to pronounce your last name, if it's like it's spelled or if it's very anglicized, like Picarillo, or
It
is
is
it
Picarillo.
Picarillo? I don't know.
Yeah, you got it the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Brian Picarillo with us tonight. But first, let's introduce our star-studded panel. Trevor Olson, please tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm a game designer. Um, don't have anything published yet. Working on that. Have about, I don't know, 8 in the pipe, but mainly working on Alcatraz Escape the City.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Eric, tell us about your fine self.
I am also a hobbyist game designer without anything published at the moment, and presently I am working on deductive seasoning.
I love that name so much.
Everybody loves the title. It's pretty good so
Now
far.
you just have to make it a good game, and then
No, I think it is. I'll show it to you one time.
I'm excited to check it out. I am now. You guys are gonna have to publish something because I literally just said star-studded panel. So I think technically that means you have to publish multiple things. Anyway, Evan Halbert here. You should go buy my one and only game you can buy right now, which is After the Empire, and then soon buy all the rest of the games that will ever come out from me. But let's introduce Brian Picarillo. Take it away, sir. Who are you, and how'd you? Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Brian. I grew up in New Hampshire, moved to New York for the last 8 years or so, but hopefully moving back to Maine. Near the other Portland,
The other Portland, yep.
the other Portland. The group I actually thought you were out of, so I thought this would be at 8:30 p.m. But then I learned it was in Oregon.
Sorry
Uh,
about that.
so so no, it's great. So I've been a longtime game board player. I just started designing things in January.
Oh
I
wow.
never, I've done a lot of graphic design in college and whatnot, but never
Mhm.
really had anything to apply it to. So then
Yeah.
I figured, why not give it a shot? And then I haven't stopped since. So
You
it's been a
started
good,
in January of 2023.
yeah, this
If your
started
game
January
is already
1st.
really good, all three of us are going to be super angry.
I started on the 1st. So
That's
everything has
awesome.
come since then. This is your 40th playtest. This is this 75th playtest of this
Oh
so
wow,
far.
nice. Wow,
Wow.
you've really taken it to it. That's awesome.
A lot of iterations for you to pick apart.
Was it a? Did you make a? Was it like a? What do you call that? Resolution?
No, so my friends were talking about starting a board game company that's called Emberleaf Games,
Yeah.
and we started that back in December or so,
Hmm.
and we all pitched an idea or two, and I kind of took off with this one as the owner of it from our group, and they've been helping me out, and we've all been working as a team since then.
Cool.
That
How
was
many?
kind of the effort. Just wanted to do something fun with my friends, and if
Yeah.
it ended up paying something, that would be great too. But if not, it's just a great time.
How many people are on your team?
There's five of us.
And you're all part owners of the company.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have another LLC that I do like woodworking and stuff, so I kind of just use the knowledge of that to start the other company.
It's freaking
But
awesome.
I mean, we don't have any assets yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we start. The goal is to start pitching it, getting some crowdfunding support in like late July,
Yeah.
and then like launch on Kickstarter in October.
Wow. Cool. All right. Well, let's give us the teach.
Okay. You said your system was working a little overtime.
It's a little slow, but that's okay. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So in Fame and Fortune, you are an adventuring party, a group of ne'er do wellers who've learned of a monster that spawned in a dungeon nearby, and you've come with your group to collect its stash and slay it. Hopefully, gain a little fame and fortune for your team.
Mhm.
But when you showed up at the dungeon, you realized you weren't the only one that had that idea,
Mhm.
and so you have to slay the monster and steal from it while taking care of anyone that gets in your way. That's every other adventuring party. You can play up to six players, and each player you kind of play as a team, and you use your actions. You kind of spread your actions amongst your units. In this game, you all have a leader card, which is okay. Of course, the deck button doesn't work when I want it to.
That's always the way of it.
Yeah, here, everyone take one of these leader cards from over here. Just helps to better explain the game.
Take one of those.
Yep, and then you're going to want to take 2 adventurer cards from the adventurer deck.
Okay.
Beautiful. You can see your player mat before you. That's kind of, at the moment, the best way we can help you learn the game is to just start putting pieces down and going as you go. But you'll see your leader is the one with the left side of his page says leader.
So put my guy there.
Looks like Raspin. He also has a gold. They'll have a gold badge at the bottom. They'll go in the leader slot.
Okay. I'm assuming we're placing them face up, right?
Yeah, face up. Yep.
Okay.
And then I promoted all of you, so you should be able to go over to the whiteboard that's over here and find that leader and plop them down on the table. Mine is this guy. So you'll just take his token and put them down on the board. They can go in any of the 4 spaces in your team base, which are the hexagons that are colored to your team.
Am I an Archmage?
Yeah, you're
Electrus. There we go.
And so the leaders you can
this.
Yeah, the leaders you can just take, but for every other character you're gonna want to copy and paste them because I only have one of each type.
And they start on that edgy edge. Okay.
Yeah, you can put them on any of the 4. I'm actually gonna move mine up a little bit. So every character in this game has a few attributes which are listed on their card. You can think of this as a PvP hexagonal dungeon crawl type game. The little red sword in the left of the card, that's how much damage the character does. The blue symbol is their range. That applies to both their attack and their ability, if applicable. The little heart in the middle is how much health they have when they start out. That's their max health. The footprint symbol is how far you can move them. If it has a little arrow in it, like the rogue, then that means that they can jump. If not, you can't go through your teammates or anybody. But if it has jump, you can go over them. And the last symbol is the coin, and that's their loot limit. That's how many coins they can carry as they move around the board. So there are 5 main attributes, and then I'll get to the threat level at the bottom a little later. Each character also has their own unique ability, which are on the right-hand side of the cards. So we'll get to that when we get to the how to play section. So everyone has chosen their leader. I think Eric still needs to find his and plop him down on the board. But there are 5 other cards in your hand. Everyone starts with a rogue, a soldier, and a cleric. That's kind of your standard adventuring party. And then you also have 2 random cards, which are unique to you. Well, we might have the same ones, but they definitely could be different. I, for instance, have a pirate and a druid. You're going to choose 3 more from your hand and then put them onto the field. If you've ever played a fantasy game, you kind of have a sense of what these characters do. All of their abilities are something that you could definitely see them doing. The rogue is very stealthy. The pirate steals gold. They're pretty self-explanatory. If you need an explanation about what anything does, all of the characters are on these cheat sheets over here. So if you need to just see at a glance what everyone does, feel free to look at those. And if you go to, once you've put your 3 characters down on the map, you can keep the other 2 cards in your hand. You're only going to start with 4, and you're going to fill up the rest of your base. So throw down 3 more cards and then put down those people. If you want to change when we get going and you learn how to actually play, that's okay too.
Oh, I think I mixed it up. I have 5 cards.
But you should have 5 and you should have 2 in your hand.
I have 5 in my hand.
Yeah, so you'll put 3 down next to your leader on the playmat, and then you'll end up with 2 still in your hand.
Oh, okay. At this point, just randomly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just and then if you want to change them, it's no big deal. And if you could try to copy and paste them, because I only have one of each. There we go. Once you have all your people, you can take some of your health dials, which are on your player mat, and you can just drop them on top of your characters. All of them are hollow discs. Tabletop just makes them look like solid discs. But when you drop them on top of your players, it'll automatically set their health to each character's starting health. You'll see that every token on the board has a small arrow which points towards its current health. Kind of this version of HeroClix for this game. Yeah, Eric's doing a great job.
Does it matter where these guys go? Like, are they going on one of these 3 spots as well?
Yeah, you're gonna fill up your base, but it doesn't matter which order you put them in.
Okay.
The Commander Grace can kind of move people as a unit, so he's either usually good or in the front or the back, because he can move everyone he's touching.
I lost one of my guys. How did that happen?
I can probably help you set up if you want.
Well, I thought I had it, and then one of my guys disappeared.
You're missing just the soldier.
I have a soldier here if you want to copy it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who stole my soldier? That's what I want to know.
I thought I copied it, but I might have stole it.
Wow.
Right? Come on, man.
Hey, you didn't
or
notice.
did it just get moved right there? Okay, never mind.
Okay, sorry, and then we're putting what on top of them?
You'll have the health discs, their health dials on your playmat. You could just pick them up and drop them over your characters. They're like rings. They just look like discs in the game.
This thing here?
Yeah, that thing. Yep.
Okay, I think I got everybody down there.
Yeah,
And then I've got
what's the matter with me?
these ringies.
There it goes.
And if anything you find is like a little laggy, let me know and I can always adjust the healths for you to move it along if it's a lag issue.
No, it's weird. I can pick it up if I move right, but it won't pick up if I move left.
Oh.
That is weird.
Oh, now it's doing it again. Oh, there we go. All right.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was having trouble picking those up.
Oops.
Whoa. Grab the whole
Beautiful.
stack.
Oh, did I grab everything?
Here,
There. I'll just sit back.
I'll set you up real nice. All right. So you now have your starting characters. You'll want to set your rotational degrees to 30 if that's helpful to you, because every 30 degrees is one rotation of the health dial. I'm just going to go around and make sure that everyone's starting healths are correct.
Okay.
Looks like everyone is all set, which is great. Okay, so everyone's health is set up, their characters are set up. So the main point of the game is to gather fame and fortune. You need 4 fame and 4 fortune to win. The fortune are collected by running your characters over these gold coins and running them back to your base. You can bring them to any of the 4 spaces in your base. That's the simpler part of the game. In order to gain fame, you can either slay opposing party members. So if I took out one of Trevor's people, I would get a fame. If you hit the monster, as you pick away at its health, you get to roll a reward die, and one of those rewards could give you fame. One of them could give you fortune. So that's kind of how you get fame and fortune. You get the fortune by running and picking it up, and you get the fame by slaying people or hurting the monster. That's the generic way to play. This is a 4-player game, so actually these 2 coins are not there. So the way you play is on your turn, you have 3 actions. There's a small reminder over here that can tell you what you can do with them. But really there are 4 things. You can move a character up to its movement speed. Most of the characters can move 2 or 3 spaces. So for instance, Raspin here can go 2 spaces to here. That would be 1 action. Another action is to use a character's attack. You use their attack by applying their full damage at whatever range or less their character has. So for instance, if my character was here, I could deal 2 damage to this cleric. Damage is dealt, you just subtract the health points from that character. There's no fighting back or defense. They just lose the health. The third thing you can do is use a character's ability. All the abilities are listed on the right-hand side of the card. You can just say, hey, I want to use the rogue's ability to skulk, and then we'll handle that as it comes up. The fourth thing you can do is recruit a new character. You can have up to 7 on your team, and you recruit them by playing another card from your hand, throwing it into like the 5th or 6th slot in your group, and you'll take just like you set up just now, you'll take a character and you'll plop them down on this back space. So the one in the very back of your group. That's the only place you can recruit on. And if it's full, you can't recruit. So those are the 4 main actions you can take. You can move, you can attack, you can use an ability, or you can recruit someone new. The only thing you can't do is use the same action on the same character in the same turn. So my rogue leader can't move 2 and then move 2 again. The rogue can't skulk and then skulk again. You can only do 1 character action at a time. You could use the rogues to move and skulk and attack. You just can't repeat the same mode twice. So that's how someone takes their turn. We'll go around once clockwise doing that. The initial round is kind of just move in and move forward a little bit. And then once everyone has taken 1 turn, the monster will take 1 turn in between each of our turns. The monster has 1 action, whereas we have 3. And what it does is dependent on these 2 dice. There's 1 dice, which is labeled the movement die. That tells you the direction it moves in. And then the other one, the attack and ability die. The ability die here tells you what the monster does and who it does it to. So, for example, if you rolled this, it's a bad combination to start off with. Let's do this. So if it rolled this, for example, this monster would move its maximum distance, which is 3, in the yellow direction. And then it would look for a target within its range, and it would attack it. Whatever color you roll on the movement die is which direction you go. There's 8 different options. 6 of them are colors on the board. 1 of them is do not move, and the other option is return to center, which will mean it would jump back to the middle of the board. That's its movement. On this attack ability die, there's 3 symbols and there's 3 colors. If it lands on a sword, it's going to attack. If it lands on a triangle, like this, it will use its ability. And if it lands on a monster's face, which is, I think it's side 8 or 7. Yeah, there we go. If it rolls on the monster's face, it will do both. It will attack and use its ability. So that's kind of what it does. And then the color of that die depends on who it's going to do it to. I remember I talked about there being a 6th thing on your character's card. The bottom number in the middle is their initiative or their threat level. The monster is going to attack characters based off its threat level. So if it rolls something and that side is red, it's going to go after the highest threat level character. If it rolls something that is blue, it's going to go after the lowest threat level character. And if it rolls something purple, it's going to go after its prey. Every monster has a specific type of prey that it likes going after. In this case, the dragon, which I'll put over here, his type of prey is the thing that has the highest loot limit. So it'll always go after the thing that can carry the most coins. All of the monsters are different. If there's ever a tie, you always go with the highest initiative after that number. So an example would be he moved toward yellow, and then in this case, he would attack and use his ability on my leader because it's the only target. The monster will take one action between each of our turns until it's dead, and when it dies in a 4-player game, one more monster will spawn after it. So we'll be fighting 2 of them total. The goal is to get 4 fame and 4 fortune. There's a few other rules that I'll probably just get to as we get to them, but that's the general idea of how you play. And I'll answer any questions as they come up because I'm sure that they will.
So can you go over the 4 things really quickly again? You can grab loot, you can move, you can attack, and what was the 4th thing?
Recruiting a new person.
Right, okay.
Yep. The thing that I haven't mentioned is like what happens when you deal damage to someone or the monster. If you hit the monster, you'll roll the major reward die, which is over here. There's 3 different symbols on it. There's a fame. You immediately take a fame from the Hall of Fame and claim it on your player mat. There's a fortune, which is the coin symbol. If you attack the monster at melee, the coin goes underneath you. If you attacked it at range, it goes underneath the monster. And the last symbol is level up a character. You can level up the character that was dealing the monster damage. The level ups are related to something called advantages, which are listed over here. There's 8 different types of them, and you gain advantages by attacking other players. So when you hit the monster, you roll the die. When you hit other characters, you'll draw cards from this advantage deck over here. When let's say I dealt 2 damage, I would draw 2 cards. If I dealt 3 damage, I draw 3 cards. Each time you choose one of those cards to claim as your advantage. You can think of advantages as one-time use potion effects. They go away the turn that you use them. Whereas level ups are permanent versions of the advantages. If you use them on a character, they stay permanently. So if I leveled up my rogue with a +1 attack, it would always deal 3 damage instead of 2.
But you could also use them as a one-time thing also? Like
If
on
they're
a character?
Yes. So if I drew this card as an advantage, it would go in my backpack. And then at any time on anyone's turn in response to anyone doing anything, I can play this to increase someone's range by 1. And then it goes away. Whereas if I have leveled up a character, I would choose to put it on my pirate, and then my pirate would always have +1 range.
Okay.
So that's the general layout of the game. Usually people run in and grab coins first, and then just kind of fight their way out. But the way you win is completely up to you. You can consider this middle section here to be an infinite pile of gold, so it won't run out. I think that's about it.
You were saying too, if the gold might spawn under the monster. Is that right?
Right. Right. Yeah, if
So
someone
how do you
rolls,
get it? How do you get it from under the monster?
well, the monster won't be here for long. It'll be running around the board. So this space will most likely be open for you to run across.
Oh, so that when they move, they'll leave that gold behind.
Yeah, it's going to leave the piles of gold behind you.
Okay.
If you have a pirate on your team, then you can steal from places that are adjacent to you. I think I'm the only one that has a pirate. Quick rundown of like what everyone's abilities are, just so everyone's aware. Evan, your leader, can stun people, which means they can't do anything. Your cleric heals. Your soldier can guard people that he's standing next to and himself, so that they take half damage. The bard character lets you trade in any fame you've collected for rewards, like permanent level ups or drawing a card from the character deck, that type of thing. Eric, your leader pushes people away and detains them so that they can't move or attack anyone back. Your monk can move twice on a turn, and your rogue, if it's skulking, takes no damage, which is pretty nice. My leader can like take one step and then pull two people, then disarm them. And Trevor's leader can move his entire group one space as a unit. That's the rundown of the characters that we have in play at the moment.
I'm assuming if I do that, it doesn't count for movement for my other guys.
Right. Usually the youngest person starts.
That would be
I don't-
Brian.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the compliment. I'll take it.
You never know. I would be surprised, but you never know.
It'll be easier for me if I go first, so that's probably wise. So my first action I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my leader's ability to move one and then pull two people up. I'm gonna choose not to disarm them. My second action is gonna be to move my pirate to here, and my third is gonna be to move my rogue to here. So I've done 3 actions. It would go to Trevor's turn, and then after everyone has gone once, then the monster will wake up.
Okay. So I'm going to do 3. And I'm assuming if I pull everybody, like you pulled people forward, they have to move forward. They couldn't move from here to here.
Yeah, mine says I have to pull them closer to me. Yours says you all have to move in the same direction.
All right. Well, let's do that.
Seems good.
And okay, now I need a second. Okay. I will. What happens if you lose your leader? Anything?
So when a character dies, the person who killed them gets 1 fame. If you kill a leader, you get 2 fame instead. If you want to re-recruit your leader, you can, but it takes 2 actions instead of 1. That's
Okay.
pretty much the only penalty.
Okay, so and you get something if you attack. You get one of your advantage cards.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get a 1-time use advantage. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that, and then I'm gonna attack this rogue, I think.
Okay. So my rogue goes from 4 to 3. You draw 1 card from the advantage deck because you did 1 damage to me. And then you take that card and put it on your backpack, on your player mat. And then you can use that on any turn except this one. And that was 3 actions. So then it would go to Evan's turn.
And where's my backpack?
Right here.
Okay.
So
Do I show you or?
Yeah, it's public.
Okay.
So I'll go.
So should I read out what I got just so people know?
Whoa.
Sure.
Okay. Remove any unwanted status conditions from a character and prevent them from being applied until the start of its next turn. If used as a level up, the character is protected in this way permanently instead. So I could have permanent protection from unwanted status.
Yep. Pretty much any. We haven't really talked about the status conditions, but they're all on this list here. Every time you're affected by a status condition, it lasts until the end of the affected character's turn.
Okay.
So it's usually the end of someone's next turn is when it goes away. But if you wanted to get rid of it sooner than that, or get rid of someone else's guard or someone else's positive ability, you could use it in that way too.
Okay.
2.
Evan is moving up.
I'm actually gonna move this guy
Moving on up,
to
on
the
up.
east side. No, that's fine. I'll leave him.
Stop making references that Brian won't understand.
It was a thing. You wouldn't get it. Okay, I think I just moved 3 times, and that's it. I think.
Okay, and then Eric will go, and then the monster will start going.
Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do is move my monk. He goes 1, 2, 3, and then his special action is he gets to move twice, right? So this will be my
Yes.
second action. So I pick up the coin, and then I can move 2 back.
Correct. Yep. So
Give me that. Oh.
we'll get you. We'll get you there.
All right, I'll let you do that. And then for my third action, can I recruit my other monk?
So you can only have one of each type of character at a time,
Oh, okay.
and you can only recruit on the backspace of
Oh
your
yeah,
board.
that's right. Okay, I forgot.
But if you have a duplicate of a player you already have in the field, say you have a monk card in your hand and you have a monk in play,
Yeah.
you can discard the monk you have to level up the monk that's in the field. And you
Oh,
can do
I
that
can.
you can do that as a free action.
I will do that as a free action. I'm gonna level up my.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Let's pretend I could have done that at the beginning of the turn, right? Because I want to level up his movement, right?
Well, so what will happen is you'll draw 3 cards from the advantage deck and choose one of them.
All right. So where do I put my extra monk card?
You'll put it in your graveyard, which is
Is that one of his character abilities?
I have a feeling it's just a rule.
Yeah, so you're just leveling up because you have a duplicate in your hand.
All right.
Like
so
if-
now
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna draw 3 advantages and then pick one to level up, right?
Yep. You'll tuck it underneath the. You can just hold 3 above the deck if you want, and they'll just draw 3 for you.
Okay. Oh, and guess what? Movement.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So I would have done that first. So let's move it 2 more times, please.
Yeah.
It's
So
plus
you'll
1.
actually make it all the way back to your base.
Yeah.
We're getting schooled, Evan.
I know. I can tell. Eric's a ringer. It's fine.
All right. Now the other 2 advantage cards I'm going to throw to discard or something.
They'll come over here. Yep.
All right. I won't accidentally forget and leave them in my hand. I promise.
No, no worries.
Once a coin returns to your base, can anybody mess with it in any way?
No, it's completely safe.
Okay.
So we'll actually take that coin from here and we'll put it on your player mat in this slot.
Oh, so much fortune. All right.
Just so anyone's aware, because I didn't think you'd get a point so fast. If anyone ever gets to 4 points, like 4 total points, 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, every other player who hasn't already gotten to 4 will draw 1 card from the advantage deck. So that is a sort of catch-up mechanism that you need to be aware of.
Okay.
So that was 2 actions, and you still have 1 more. You don't have to recruit someone.
No, my first action would have been to buff the monk up.
Oh, that was free.
Oh, that was free. Oh, so I got a third action. Oh. What do I want to do for my third action? Let me look at the actions again other than
You're
movement.
just bragging at this point. Jeez, I have another action? Oh my god. What would I even do? I've already won.
You should go get another
game.
Yeah, you should go get another coin.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see. Let's see.
Yeah, you should bring your guy out there.
I want to bring.
So just another note: while if you're in your home base, you inherently have +1 shield, and you have protection from abilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave. I'm just doing the 2 actions.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Okay, so I'll probably just take care of the monster, and you can just trust me that it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
It's probably just easier that way, but I'm sure you'll catch on at some point as to what's happening. So I'll roll both of these. The monster will move towards purple, which is this direction. It moves 3 spaces because its movement is 3. and then it normally would use its ability on the character that has the most gold, but it currently can't reach anything because its range is only 2. So then it will just go to my turn. It should be noted while it is moving around, if a monster lands on this backspace, anyone's backspace, it jumps back to the middle.
Okay.
So my actions are going to be.
Is that
I'm
any backspace, like any perimeter
Yeah,
space, or just
just the recruitment space.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you
be
can
back
think of
in
those
2
as
seconds.
like you can think of them as like entrances to the dungeon, and it's not allowed to leave. The runic circle in the middle here is kind of keeping it bound. Let's see. You attacked me. That was unnecessary.
It was.
I'm going to move my pirate 1, 2, 3 spaces. I'm gonna move my leader to here and pull you closer and disarm you. The way that works is I'll take a little status condition thing here and then just put it like this.
Okay.
It looks neat. It gets complicated when there's more than one thing on there at a time, but we'll get there when we get there. If you ever wanted to use the dispel, you could use it now to tell me I can't put it on there, or you can use it later to remove it entirely.
Okay.
That's how that would work. And the third thing I'm going to do is hit your cleric for 2 with my leader. And bring it to 2 health.
And what happens when your person dies? They just go away?
They go away, and whoever died draws a card from the character, the adventure deck.
Okay.
So I hit you twice, so I draw 2 advantages. I'll choose the movement one. Lets me move an extra space. I'll put this one in the trash, and then that was my 3 actions, and then the monster will take 1 roll. It's going to move towards green. It's important to note that on this map, you'll see that the colors, you would inherently think green is this direction. It is not. It is this way. If there's ever confusion, you can look at the compass over here to decide which way it will go. You can also look at the base of the character's token. They all have colored sides that will move in the direction of the colored side.
He's coming my way.
It'd be good for you, Evan.
Is it?
Moves 2 spaces, and then he will attack the highest initiative character that is within his range. The monster in this case, it looks at the closest things next to it first, and then if it can't find anything, it moves outwards. So because of distance, your soldier's going to get hit for 2.
Okay.
So you'll just grab the ring here and then spin it twice with E and Q. And then it will be Trevor's turn.
All right.
But bam, 2 damage. Fair enough. What do I get when I hit this bad guy?
You'll roll this die as many times as you dealt damage, and you'll choose one of the results. You can either get an immediate fame, a coin dropped underneath you or the monster, or you can level up your character.
All right. Sounds cool.
If you are the person to kill the monster, you can take its body as a trophy. The trophy counts as a point for either fame or fortune. You can
It's
sell
messed
it,
up, but I like it.
sell it, make some money, or keep it on your wall for a story.
Very nice. Okay, what can I do? 2. So my commander can carry 2 coins?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'll move everything forward 1. And then I'll move this guy up here. That's 2, I think. Let me know if I'm doing anything illegal.
Nope, I'll let you know.
And then What's your pirate have for hits?
I have 5 health.
And what's the range on your master
Who's
blaster?
Jamer Home 9?
Ooh.
2.
Is that
Uh,
somebody
I-
on your team?
Oh, John Rayum 9 probably. He's one of my best friends.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just in a battling kind of
Is he
mood.
making fun of me already?
No. He's in the chat saying hi and helping answering
Oh.
questions or whatever.
Cool. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. He's in Texas, so it's not that late for him.
Let's attack that pirate because I'm just in a
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
I'm in a range
so-
kind of mood.
So you'll deal 3 damage. I'll go down to 2 health, and you'll draw 3 cards from the advantage deck and choose one of them.
This one.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, start getting some advantages.
What's a threat level?
The threat level is the number at the bottom of your character. If you had a threat modifier and you used it as an advantage, let's say the monster was going to hit either you or someone else, you could use it to change your threat level so it didn't hit you or it did hit someone else on purpose.
Oh, right. You said it'll go to the highest threat.
Yeah. So if I roll something red and it's going to go after the highest, and that highest is you, you can say, never mind, my number's 0.
Okay. And how much damage does the monster do? I guess I could look. 2. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, which do I want? I think I'm gonna. Can I level up my main guy?
The only way you can level up your main guy, since there's no duplicate of him in the deck, is by rolling the major reward die and hitting the level up symbol, or killing another character that has a level up, and they'll be transferred to you.
So I can't use any of these cards to level up my main guy. It's got to be a minion.
Well, the cards that you just drew are just advantages. They're not level ups unless they're gained as one. So that you kind of just drew them. You're kind of just accumulating instance.
So
Instant spells.
if I take this and I put it on that guy, that doesn't permanently give him that ability.
It would if you used it as a level up, but you hit me, so you're just gaining an advantage, which means it will go over here as a temporary thing.
Okay, when could I put it on one of these guys?
You don't move them from here to here. You would use them to influence the game. You would level up a leader with one of them if you were leveling up a character, which you can do by rolling this. Like if you rolled this symbol by hitting the monster, you would draw 3 and pick one and put it on someone's character that you have.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one
So
way.
when I'm drawing them because I attacked, I only can put them in my backpack.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So as a one-time thing, which one do I want? I guess I'll take this one. Sure. And then these ones go. Where was the discard? Right there.
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't remember how many actions I took, of course. Let's see. I moved, I attacked,
Yeah.
and I moved all my. Did I move? I did move all my guys forward as well. So I guess that's 3.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, the monster will go in between
Oh,
you guys.
monster goes. Okay.
It will not move and then use its ability on your soldier.
Okay.
So your soldier is stunned until the end of your turn.
Okay.
And Trevor, at the end of your turn, this disarmed would have gone away.
Oh, okay. So all of these only last one turn or one.
Yeah,
one
like
turn.
95% of them.
Okay.
I go?
Yes.
Okay, so he moves 3. And he can fly. So he can move straight across people. And that's how I pick up a coin, is that right?
Yep, you just walk over it.
Okay, and then he casts stun people, mega stun, paralysis wave. And he's gonna, I'm gonna stun the pirate and the big bad.
Okay. If you do use an ability on the monster, you can, but it'll also go away at the end of the monster's next turn. So
Okay.
it will go away before Eric, but after you go. So its next turn it won't hit you, but
Yeah, that seems like something I need to do.
okay. So I'm just gonna put this one over here.
Save my soldier for a turn.
I'll drop that guy down. Okay, that was 2 things.
That was 2 things. And then my cleric is going to... How much does he heal for?
2 at range 3.
Oh, I see. Not range 2. Heal by 2. Got it. Heal for 2. Okay. I see. I'm going to heal my soldier.
Okay. So he'll go up to 5.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Cool.
All right. And then I'm no longer stunned, right?
Yes, your turn will end and the stun will go away.
Alrighty. Whoa. Okay.
And then the monster will go, and then it will be Eric's turn. No one's actually hit the monster yet, but if you do attack the monster immediately retaliates against you if you are within its range. It will do that by just rolling this die 1 time and doing whatever it says to you. So just be aware of that. Okay. Oh no, that's the okay. The monster's gonna return to the middle.
Oh, I thought it couldn't do anything because it was stunned.
Oh, you're right. You did stun it. Beautiful. It would have killed me, so I'm glad that didn't happen.
You're welcome.
All right, Eric, your turn.
Why do you remind him? Oh my god.
I'll remember that.
All right. Is there any way for me to get coins when people are sitting on the coin piles?
Your leader can push us off of them.
Okay.
And you can steal them if you have a pirate. Otherwise, the answer is no.
All right. But my leader can only move 3. Leader can jump. Is jumping 1 move or is it 2?
Jumping over the monk counts as 1, so you just landed on 2.
All right. So that would be 3, and that's the max of her movement. Okay. So that was 1 action, and she can't move again, right?
Right.
All right. 1 second.
So you can't move twice in a row?
The same person can't do the same thing twice.
Oh, how did you go up and steal that gold piece?
Because the monk has a special ability where he can move twice.
Oh, he can move twice. Okay.
That's the monk's special ability.
Got it.
So I'm going to move the monk first, actually. Because monk can't jump over leader. Then I'll move the leader up there. And then... Oh, I'll move the cleric. Can move 2. So 3 movements, 3 actions. Done.
Okay, great.
So I missed the answer to the piece about being able to get gold while other people are on it.
You can't unless I push you off.
And pushing is
a special ability of my leader.
Okay.
If you force someone else's character to move, you can tell them whether they will move with their gold or not. So if you want to push me off, you can, or you can push me with gold.
Why would I ever push you with gold? What advantage does that give me?
If you pushed me with gold towards your base, and I landed on your space, you would claim it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty rare instance, but well, hopefully I don't die this time. Okay, it's not going to move, and it's going to attack your soldier.
Yeah.
So your soldier goes to 3, and then it will be my turn. My pirate is stunned. That was kind of the whole point of what he was going to do. Not really sure how to I guess I'll do this. I'll kill the cleric with my leader.
Why?
Why would you do that?
All's fair in war. And
So how are you killing the cleric?
so I deal 2 damage to
Is
him.
he at 2? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no love, that's for sure.
That
So you
sounds
can
like there's
put
no love lost.
no love lost. Right. No hard feelings, I hope.
So what
You
do I do with them?
You'll take the token and put it wherever. You'll take the health ring back onto your player mat, and then you'll take the card that's on your player mat and put it in the graveyard. And then I dealt 2 damage to you, so I'll draw 2 advantages and then put 1 back. And I also killed you, so I take 1 fame. You as a character, so your character died, so you get to take a card from either the the face up character deck or the face down character deck as recompense. And the cleric will be no more. You can draw a card from here or here into your hand.
What am I talking to? Oh, befriend the monster? Yeah. Sasha says I need to befriend the monster.
You do. You guys are not, you have not gotten off on a good foot.
The closer it gets to you, the easier it is to score points, but it's also not a good thing. Eric, Evan, when did you lose oh, there he is. He's just hiding. Okay.
What did I do?
I thought you'd lost a character, but he was
no,
just hiding.
No.
Okay, so you've drawn a card, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that was 1 action. Second action will be to move my rogue to here, and my third action will be to skulk. So my rogue will not be able to take damage until the end of my next turn. I will roll for the monster. He's going to move over to orange, which is this direction. And then oh god. Okay, good. He's going to attack and use his ability on the character that has the highest loot limit next to him. I'm pretty sure your leader and my pirate can both carry 2. So in the case of a tie, it affects the character with the highest initiative. So your leader, Trevor, would be stunned and would take 2 damage.
And the initiative is the 75 at the bottom?
Yes. So if you wanted to change that, it would hit me instead.
A darn tootin'.
Okay. So you'll put that in the discard. You'll change your threat level to 0, and then it will hit me instead. It's going to kill me. So he dies. I draw 1 card. And when the monster kills someone, the monsters get famous.
How did the monster kill you?
He did 2 damage to me.
Oh.
And I had 2 health.
Oh, did he attack twice or something?
No, he attacked the character with the highest initiative, which was gonna be Trevor's leader, but then Trevor swapped his initiative to 0, so it hit me instead.
Got it.
The monsters, so that this is a 4-player game. If the monsters collectively get 7 fame, then we all lose. So we'll keep track of that. They have 1 right now. Hopefully they don't get more than 7.
It's fine.
And then it would be Trevor's turn.
Do these hexes matter?
No, they're mostly cosmetic. They used to matter, and I haven't removed them yet.
Okay.
Trevor, at the end of Trevor's turn, you will be able to summon a new person for free because you ended your turn. You started your turn with less than 4.
Alrighty.
So.
Okay, so if I use my leader's power right now of unified direction or rally the troops, I'm just moving my one guy forward, right?
Yeah, you get 1 extra movement out of it.
All right, let's do that. But I take the gold with me somehow.
Yep. Okay.
So he's gonna go up here.
Oh, you're putting him on top.
Yeah. And then
Got
he's gonna take 2 movement to go over here.
Okay. And I'm guessing you want 2 coins.
I would like 2 coins, yes. And then I will wait till somebody kills me. So that was 1, 2. Did I do anything else? I don't think so. So let's see, what else can I do? Let's do. What is this guy? That's your rogue. What does the rogue have? Okay.
It's funny. I've watched you guys like play in some of your live streams, but it's another thing to play with you. It's really cool.
You're getting famous, Evan.
Yes. It was bound to happen sometime.
Somebody's got to do it.
Star-studded panel.
Star-studded
Yes.
panel.
Unless he has a piercing somewhere. Well, I mean, Evan is the most star-studded of us, probably.
Okay, was that 3?
I think that's 3.
Okay.
And then you get to spawn somebody, is that true?
Yeah, you can put someone, you can recruit someone from your hand onto this spot for free at the end of your turn.
Okay, what do I want to do?
I'm gonna move the monster over to Evan, his favorite player.
Oh, come on.
And then he's going to attack your soldier for 2.
He moved towards that one. He attacks my soldier. Whoa, buddy!
And now it is Evan's turn. And if you want, you could triple attack it, which is really cool. Could get a lot out of it.
Well, how many hit points does he have?
He's got 12.
What
But you get to you get 3 rewards. You get 3 roll 3.
I thought he retaliates when you hit him.
He would. He'd probably kill the soldier, but he wouldn't hurt he wouldn't hurt you too bad.
I can't handle a retaliation from that guy.
If you, I guess you could move and stun him first, and then he wouldn't attack the other person that hit him.
Can he retaliate when he's stunned?
No, he can't do anything.
Well, that seems like the thing to do.
You could take the coins with you if you want.
How do I... Wait, I thought I... Okay. Yeah, I'm bringing the coin with me. I'm moving down 3, yeah.
Perfect.
Bajoing.
Okay.
And then I stun him.
Okay.
Actually, I don't stun him. I heal my soldier for 2.
That's not befriending the monster, just so you know.
Why can't we be friends? Did I mess it up? Hold on. Heal.
Yeah, I can
you
send
got
him
it?
to 3
All right.
if you want. Yeah, I'll send
Heal
him
him
to
for 2.
Okay, he is healed.
He is healed. And then, that guy, monk. Should I just hit him and take a what's his retaliation?
I'll roll this die once, and it would either attack or use its ability on you.
And ability is stun?
Yes.
I will hit him for 3 with my soldier.
Okay. So you roll this dice 3 times, and you'll choose one of the results to take as your reward.
Okay.
We'll do that first. You can either get a coin underneath the soldier.
I got a fortune.
You can get a coin underneath the soldier.
A fortune.
Or a coin underneath
Or
the soldier.
I will do a coin under my soldier.
Pretty good deal.
Good choice.
And then he will retaliate against you with an attack and deal 2 damage to you.
Alrighty. Will you do that too? I did. Can you do the damage to him too?
Yeah. So he goes to 1, and then you have 1 more action.
Oh, I mean the damage to the bad guy.
Oh yeah. I bring him to 10. 9. Yep.
I did 3 actions.
Oh, okay, great.
I moved my big guy, healed my soldier, and then attacked.
He's gonna move back towards orange,
Get out of here.
and then he's gonna attack your leader because it's the closest one to him.
Get out of here.
Your leader
Sure.
would take 2 damage. Trevor, and then it would be Eric's turn.
Fine.
All right. Yeah, it's a playtest. Let's have a little bit of fun, right?
What do you mean? You're just sitting over there watching us fight. He's fighting the monster. We're fighting.
No, he's gonna come attack me. Is what he's
All
talking
right, I'm gonna move there. Attacking the soldier for 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So soldier's dead.
He
Uh-huh.
dies. You did 1 damage to
then-
him, so you'll roll 1. You'll take 1 advantage from the deck.
Okay.
Evan, you'll draw a card from the adventure deck,
Okay.
and then Eric, you'll also take 1 fame
Thank you.
Where's the adventure deck?
from the adventure deck's over here.
Okay, I
You
draw
could take
one.
you could take the ranger or the face down card.
Oh, what's the ranger do? That's not
He-
true.
He deals double damage, and if you kill someone, you get +1 fame off the kill.
He
We'll put him over
deals
here.
He
And then
deals
at-
+1 damage.
target a
so I
character
move.
within range
Does
and
a
mark
Zephyr
them.
strike its own? How do I do the ability with the person?
Huh.
You would just push him to here.
And then what does detain him mean?
He won't be able to move or attack.
Okay, so that guy's
Sure.
detained.
I'll take a ranger. Why not?
Okay.
And then for my final move, I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm taking a coin with me.
Okay.
What
And
happened?
then the monk can do a double move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me that
Well,
coin.
I think
Oh.
you only get 3 actions.
Oh, but the monk has a special ability where it can move twice.
That is his. So using his ability would be an action.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh,
in that
did you
case,
cheat your first turn too?
No, I
Maybe that's
didn't.
why he's doing
No,
so
no, I
well.
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, it's collusion. It's
All right.
collusion.
His
I'm-
first turn
I'm-
was legal.
I'm unusing. Oh wait, no. Yeah, never mind. All right, that's fine. I'll leave the monk right there.
What
Okay.
happens if he gets another monk?
So he can't have another monk, but if he did draw another monk card, he would level up his monk again.
So his
If it-
monk, when he leveled up his monk, was it just movement, or was it something, or was it? What,
+1 movement.
Yeah, +1 movement.
it's always
you can-
movement that you're always going to level up.
You
No,
can
no,
al- you can only level them up with 1 different of each type.
Oh,
the next
so
one
he
would
could
be
have
Eric.
leveled up any one of the 5 attributes.
Yes, based off the cards he drew from the advantage deck. He had 3 options.
Oh, that's right. You got to then do it from the advantage deck. I remember now.
If you level up a character 6 times, then you win that way also.
Hmm.
But it is a rare circumstance. What gets really bad is if the monster starts to kill the leveled up characters, then the monster will take the level ups for himself, and that could get dicey. So just keep the monk alive. That's all. Then he's gonna jump over here, and then he's going to deal 2 damage to your merchant and bring him to 2. And then I'll go. I'm gonna move here, take 2 coins, move back. I'm gonna skulk again, keep that active. And then I'm gonna move my I'm gonna move my druid up. And at the end of my turn, I'm gonna spawn in a soldier. And which character of mine did you kill? My cleric.
It
You
was
killed
the.
the cleric.
It wasn't. Was it me? Anyway, it
Oh,
was
it's
the. It was
my
the
pirate.
pirate.
Gotcha. So I'm just gonna play a soldier, and then my turn will be over.
Where do I put my dead soldier?
He'll go in the discard section on your playmat, on the bottom right.
Hmm.
Goes there. Okay. The monster's gonna move towards blue, and then not be able to hit anybody, and it is Trevor's turn.
Hmm. Now, why did the monster just hit me and then just go again?
It hit you in between Eric and Mai's turn, and then it moved away in between our turns.
Okay, so it did 2 things before I had a turn.
It'll do 3. Yeah, it goes in between each of us.
Okay, I missed that. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I think I'll move everybody forward,
Forward.
and then what is this guy? A rogue? What's my
A rogue that cannot take damage at the moment,
what's your rogue?
unless you took away my skulk.
Your rogue can do 2
2 damage.
All right. And what's the monster at? How do we?
He's at 9.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it. So I'll go 1, grab that coin, and come back for 2. So
Oh, we can only carry 2, and he's already standing on 2.
Oh, never mind. I didn't use that power. Okay, so I'm not gonna do any of that then. Let's mulligan all of that.
How active would you guys like me to be in like metagaming based off prior knowledge? Should I just let you figure it out, or should I drop you hints to play better? It's up to you.
Um,
No, it's fine. I'll die on my own.
If it's to my advantage, just go ahead and hand. But if it's, Evan, he doesn't need help. He's really good.
Got
I
it.
We don't need
I
that.
do want to know how this bard action works, this ability. Trade. So what's a fame?
So if you've collected a fame as one of your rewards, with one of the 8 points you need to win, you can use one of your abilities to trade that fame in for either a random level up or a card for the character.
How do I get fame?
By slaying other people and by hurting the monster.
Okay.
No, I put the wrong card down.
But only if you roll the correct thing on the die when you hit the
No, that's
monster.
right.
Yes.
Got
Put
it.
the wrong thing down.
The surefire way is to kill someone else's character. The gamble on doing it is if you go after the monster. You could hit the cleric, like the cleric could hit the monster for 1 and you could just roll a fame really easy. You could also get a coin and not be anywhere near it. So risk reward.
And how do you win?
You need 4 fame and 4 fortune.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just cloning something. I put the wrong character down last time. I thought I put a cleric into play, but I did not. Okay, so I got one more. Why do I keep doing this to me? There it goes. TTS.
TTS.
So what does the paladin do? Paladin can move 2. Sure. Do I have to get it back to this spot, or can I get it into any one of these 4 spots?
Any of the 4.
Okay. So I've moved my special move, and then my real move, and then now I guess I'll move this guy forward to. Sure.
Yeah. And just so Trevor's aware, the merchant can actually trade any coins that he's standing on. You don't have to have them cashed.
You son of a begun.
The merchant can change any. Oh, so if they. Oh, okay.
So if he's standing on the middle, you can just use his trade every turn, basically.
So I could have, instead of doing that, I could have moved him without the coins and left the coins here and then had the merchant move on to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're better off just like cashing the coins in this instance. But if your merchant ever wanted to like scoop up some stuff from the middle, he doesn't have to bring it back. He can just trade it in for points or advantages.
And is it
Whoa, hands off my
like
coin.
he would just take the gold and stash it?
Yeah, basically like if this was here and you were here, you'd say, I want to trade the coin I'm standing on for an advantage, and it would go away.
I'm
Oh,
playing
but you don't
fire,
get to
Eric.
count. You don't get to count it as a coin.
No, you don't get, yeah, that's the
Playing with
trade-off.
fire.
Gotcha.
Is there anything that would prevent the merchant from just spamming it by staying on the center stack the whole time?
Nope.
Probably
Okay.
everybody
you
trying to kill him for doing that.
That, and you can only do it, you can only use his ability once per turn, so he can only like exchange. He'd basically get 1 fame per turn if he tried to do that. But more often than not,
Seems good.
the monster should bounce back to the middle. It just hasn't.
Hmm.
It's gonna move to
Because I
here,
stunned him.
and then it would attack my rogue with 2 damage, but my rogue is skulking, so he doesn't take any damage. And then it's Evan's turn. Your bard cannot move or attack.
Bard.
This guy.
Wait, what's my cleric doing over here? I think somebody switched these at some point. That was always my cleric over there. Or maybe they were switched in my head. I've been using that. I thought my bard was sitting over here the whole time, and I've been playing this as a cleric the whole time.
Well,
should,
I mean,
we should just switch them.
I'll swap your card. I mean, we could switch them if you want.
Yeah, I mean that's how I've been playing them.
Okay. The good news is your range hasn't let you cheat yet, so
Right,
you've been doing
yeah.
everything right. All right, so your cleric can't move or attack.
Okay, perfect. So Archmage Electrus isn't having your shenanigans.
What shenanigans are you talking
I
about?
know about your shenanigans.
I don't know about any shenanigans.
He's gonna stun the monk and your master.
Does he have 20 pieces of flair?
He has minimum 20 pieces of flair. Do you really want to just do the minimum?
Is that an
Trevor?
old Facebook joke?
No, it's an old movie.
It's
Oh,
old,
the
yeah.
Jennifer Roberts movie?
Jennifer Aniston in
Jennifer
Office Space.
And then I will be attacking the cleric.
That's the good
Okay.
thing about Evan.
For
He gets
2.
my obtuse 80s and 90s. Weird.
Office Space is a great movie. This just isn't red. So he takes 2 damage, and then you draw 2 cards from the advantage deck over here,
Right. Let me see.
and then choose one of them.
I don't know. My dial's centering on 1.5, but
Oh, that's just because you gotta do that.
It's because I did half damage too.
You know what? The game always rounds up if we ever get into that situation.
I'm gonna give +1 damage. How do I? So what do I do with the one I'm not using?
You'll discard the one you're not using.
So is this the direction?
And what do I do with the other one?
That's
Sorry,
the-
Evan's talking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the one you keep will go in your backpack, which is right there.
Can I just put it on my guy?
Well, it's used as a temporary thing, and you just get to decide who you're going to use it on as a one-time use thing.
Oh, I thought I could level a guy up.
If you only level them up by rolling level up on the die, or just if you level up, you will attach it as an equipment basically, but otherwise it is just a one-time use.
Okay, so the way I
Vengeance.
gained it, it's just a one-time use.
Yep.
Okay, it's not an option of putting it on a guy versus using it one time.
Right. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Well then, I did 3 things.
Okay. I already did roll this, so it's gonna jump over to here. He's going to attack the character next to him with the least initiative, which is the monk. So the monk gets hurt by 2, and then it is Eric's turn.
Take it, monk.
Eric, looks like you've got a stockpile of advantages over there, so I'm just going to tell you that you can only use 1 per turn, so you might want to start using at least 1 per turn.
If you're trash talking, I can't hear you.
oh, sorry, I was on mute. Can the cleric kill themselves?
The cleric can't heal themselves.
All right.
You can also use your healing advantage.
I know. That's what I'm debating. I think I am going to use the healing advantage because that's doesn't count as an action, right?
Yep, that's just free.
Okay. There you go. All right, so
I
cleric's
should have
back up to
spawned. I
4.
should have spawned a guy at the end of my turn.
Oh yeah, you can throw one down.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna put down. I don't really understand this ranger. How is his ability different than just he does 2 damage?
He deals 2 damage, and then if he kills someone when he's hitting them and they're marked, then you get 1 extra fame.
I see.
So if you kill someone normally, you get 1. If you kill him with the ranger with the ability, you get 2.
All right, so that was a free action. Now I'm going to use the cleric's ability heal my monk by 2. Can you? How do you rotate this? What button do you push?
E and Q.
E and Q.
Tyrant.
Yep.
Bard. So.
I already grabbed you a ranger. Evan.
Oh, you did. Oh, great.
Yeah, you're all set.
All right, whatever.
He's ready to go.
I'll bring that back in a minute.
I gotcha.
So I got 2 actions left. 1, 2, move, and I'm going to attack
Whoa.
them for 2.
So what actions did you take?
With the rogue? Yeah.
Yeah, attacking with a rogue. And then and hold on, I already used yeah, that's fine. Wait, I healed with a cleric. I got a free heal from a card that I spent. That was a free action.
And then you moved
healed,
and attacked.
then I healed with a cleric, then I moved and attacked.
Oh.
So your leader will go to 5, Eric, and then you dealt 2 damage, so you'll draw 2 and choose 1 from the advantage deck, Eric.
Wait, okay, my what goes to what?
I lowered Evan's health by 2, and then you draw 2 advantages and pick 1.
I do?
Because you dealt 2 damage.
Okay.
And that was 3 things.
Yep,
so
I'm done.
This guy's gonna move towards orange, which is this way. And then he's going to attack the character that can carry the most coins, which in this case is my rogue. But my rogue is skulking, so he doesn't take any damage. My turn's gonna be I'm gonna use my movement advantage so that I can move my rogue 3 spaces instead of 2.
Just out of curiosity, could I use my card to make that attack happen by the monster?
If you had dispelled my skulk, yes.
Okay, I won't do it because I've seen what you're doing, but I was just curious.
Yeah, and if you ever want to, like, let's say you have an attack advantage and you see the monster hit someone for 2, but you really wanted it to be 3, you could use it on the monster also to make it faster or stronger, what have you. I moved the rogue up. I'm gonna move my leader to here, and then I'm gonna kill the merchant. So the merchant will die, deal 2 damage to it. I will draw 2 cards from this deck because I dealt 2 damage to. You will draw a card from the adventurer deck, either the monk or the face down card. And then I take 1 fame.
You took a fame?
I took 1 fame because I killed his merchant.
Oh.
He's evil.
At the end of my turn, the skulk goes away, and then it is the monster's turn. He's gonna move towards red, and then he's gonna attack my leader for 2. And then it's Trevor's turn.
All right. What happens if you lose your leader?
Nothing. So whoever kills you will get 2 fame. You're fine. You just don't have a leader anymore. You can bring them back later for 2 actions instead of 1.
Okay. Because I'm feeling very retributional. What do you have for protection? Anything? There's nothing you can protect against me, right?
No, just the monster. Which I shouldn't have let the monster hit me for 2. That was my mistake. I could have prevented. Oh, I couldn't have prevented that. It would have just hit me. So, yeah, I have nothing. I'm just sitting here.
This is sounding great.
I don't think you can outright kill me, which is good.
I think I can.
Terrified.
I think I can.
I only need 5, right?
Right.
Well, the soldier's 3, but a distance of 1. And my main guy is 3 and a distance of 1, but I could move forward. So yeah, I can't. I need 1 more action. And if I move my guy forward, it does not move this guy because they're not in a group.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you are right. Funny that the designer being right.
If anything's wrong, it's just poor game design. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. If I lose, it's actually poor game design. That's how we know.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, let's just move here and take these 2 coins. Or did I only get 1? No, I got 2. Where do they go again?
Yeah, they'll go right here.
There. Okay. And then.
And he can keep moving if he wants. He has 1 more step.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is dangerous, but I think I'll continue there. And then I don't know if that's smart or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. That was 1, 2. And then who's got the better hit? I guess they both are about the same. Well, let's see if I can entice you instead. Let's see what happens. Because that is a movement of 2. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's do that.
Okay. That was 3, right?
That's 3.
Okay. Hopefully this thing gets the hell out of here. Yep, it's gonna return to the middle. And then he's set to attack the monk for 2 damage. So the monk would go to 2. And then it will be Evan's turn.
Ooh, my turn. So, obviously, I will stun the monk and Master Fang.
Okay.
Boo!
Hey, man, you started it. Never forget. Never forget. And then.
Yeah, I'll put him on because it's just gonna cause chaos.
And then I will move my ranger to here. And I will heal my guy for 2.
The leader?
Yeah.
Okay. So the leader goes to 7.
Yep. Slowly the machinations are coming together.
The monster's not gonna move, and then it would kill the monk. I don't think anyone has anything to say about it. So the monk dies.
Kill the monk. Kill the monk.
The monster gets 1 more fame, and Eric draws a card. You can either draw the monk or the yeah, you draw the monk or the top down card. And since the monster killed the character that was leveled up, it now has +1 movement.
Uh-oh.
So it now moves 4 spaces.
Oh,
Way to go, Eric.
If you kill the monster, you get the level up.
oh.
And then it's Eric's turn. Unfortunate circumstance, but at least you have now another muck in your hand.
Owen, was I supposed to spawn somebody?
At the end of your turn, if you have less than 4.
Okay, so I was supposed to spawn somebody.
I think you have 4.
No, because I ended my turn and nobody killed me.
Oh, Trevor's talking. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, throw in a new guy.
It's Trevor.
Sorry.
How
Wrong
dare
Trevor.
you not know me yet?
Wrong Trevor.
I don't have my Zoom up.
I don't either. I can't do both at once. Okay, what do I?
Eric, you're on mute. I think that's the issue there.
Oh,
All right, I'm attacking for 2.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
great. He goes to 5.
uh-huh.
You draw 2 cards from the advantage deck and choose one.
What?
That was the rogue attacking me, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Let it be known, Eric, that you cannot have duplicates of advantages. So
Okay.
you have 3 now, but Mike's make your
I'll,
choice.
yeah.
What do you mean you can't have duplicates of advantages?
So you can't have 2 movement advantages in your backpack. You can only have 1 of each type.
Got it.
So that was 1. Let's see. I'll go ahead and attack using the cleric for 1.
Okay, so he'll go to 4.
Then do I draw another advantage?
Sad to say, you can only gain 1 per turn.
Oh, okay. Nothing I can really use.
I think you've
I'll
already.
go ahead and spend this advantage. Why not? And then make this Master Fang's advantage level 0, so he doesn't get attacked, right?
Yeah, you can actually use it like if he were to be attacked.
Oh, could I have used it to save my monk?
In
Yeah.
that specific case, the monk was the only target.
Okay.
Otherwise, yes.
Okay. Let's see, and then I don't know what I'm doing for the third one. Oh, can I spawn another monk in the back over here?
You can, but you're gonna get 1 for free at the end of your turn.
All right, let's not do that. No, I don't know. Let's get the coin. We'll go for the coin. All right.
Go for the coin.
Cool. You can bring in a new
Now-
guy.
Now I'll spawn my monk.
He's back.
There we go.
Use the same token.
There we go.
Is
Thank
it-
you.
Is it always this one space that spawns?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The monster's gonna move 3 to here, and then he's going to attack the character with the highest initiative, which in this case is my druid. Looks like we lost Evan.
What?
Well,
Am I gone?
did we? Oh yeah, you're off.
Did it boot me? I have been booted.
Uh-oh.
I'll be back.
I can wait.
Oh no, you guys can do your thing.
Okay. I'm gonna hit the monster with my leader for 2. Bring it to 7. I'll roll twice on this die and choose 1 result. I could get a fame, a coin. Okay. I get a coin. The coin goes underneath the monster because I attacked it at range. The
And if
monster
it was
then,
fame, you would just take it and put it on your map.
Right.
Okay.
and since I hit the monster, it retaliates against me. So it's going to use its ability on my leader. It's probably the worst thing that could happen. Then I'm going to hit him with my rogue for 2 damage, and I'm going to use my my +1 advantage, so I hit him for 3. I'll bring him down to 4. I'll roll this 3 times this time because I dealt 3 damage. I can get a fame, or a coin, or a fame. I'll take a fame this time.
Fame or coin or a fame?
He will then attack my rogue with a stun, which is really upsetting because I wanted to move him. I should have done that first. Okay, and the last thing will be I will just hit him with my druid because he's over here. I'll bring him down to 2. I'll roll this die twice more, hoping for fame. Yeah,
Ooh,
great.
that last percent loading.
I'll take a fame. The monster then attacks me back with an attack, and it kills me. So my druid dies. But it was worth it. The monster gets another fame.
Why was it worth it? Because you rolled fame.
Yeah, because I got another fame. We will make you blue. Okay. So my character died. I will draw a card from this deck. And then that was my 3 actions. That would normally be the end of my turn, but I got 4 points, and I think that's the first time that's happened. So each of you gets to take the top card off the advantage deck as an advantage for yourself. Doesn't really matter what order you grab them in. If grabbing it would mean that you get a duplicate, then instead you can draw a card from the adventure deck and put that card back.
Okay, and it has to go in your backpack in this situation.
It goes in the backpack, yep.
Bam.
And this guy died.
How many things hold in your backpack? Is it 3?
You can have 8, but they all have to be different.
Whoa, things are happening.
So that was 3 things. The monster's going to move towards yellow, just this way. Then he's not going to be able to attack anything, and it's Trevor's turn.
And he doesn't move back to the beginning, being on the perimeter?
He just has to land in one of the recruitment spaces to jump back.
Okay.
He can, when he gets to the wall, he'll ride it either direction.
Oh, so if he hit yellow now, he would actually go towards yellow?
Right.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do some killing. Now, if I take your guy out, that's 2 fame? Is that right?
It would be 2 fame, and you'd get to and you'd get to draw from the advantage deck for the first time you hit me.
Okay. What is this gonna do? Sorry, 1 sec.
Oh, we lost you, Eric or Trevor.
Oh, am I gone?
You got rolling boots.
I actually have it.
I just got disconnected from the lobby as well.
I see that.
We better save it. Better save it. Better save it real quick.
Save it quickly.
That's usually an indicator we're all gonna get booted. Let's see if I can get back in.
I saved it. I don't know what I saved it as, but I saved it.
Oh, it booted me again.
Yeah, I suspect we're all gonna get the boot in a sec.
Do you want me to just shut it off and turn it back on?
I'll see if I can find it.
I was able to rejoin, but I don't know. I assume since we're all getting booted, it's from your server, so you might want to
Yeah, let me just.
Yeah.
I saved it, so hopefully we're all good.
Yeah.
I think it might be
just move to the feedback section.
I think it might be tabletop simulator servers. I'm having a problem. Now the server list finally populated.
Yeah, that one always takes a long time.
Looks like it wants me to launch it through Steam this time.
Funny.
Alright, I just have a sync warning.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that means you're off.
Oh, well, we'll try to get back in. We'll give it a few minutes to see if we can get back in.
Yeah.
Everyone at home can enjoy me eating
Get a
peanut.
snack.
I'm just kidding. Don't watch me.
This is the most active comment section I've ever seen on our podcast, by the way. So you brought the heat.
John brought the heat.
It's not Jammer Home. It's JM Rome.
Rayum, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Rayum.
Bob's in there. Hey, Bob. I know somebody.
I know
All right.
someone.
Looks like we have updated we've updated tabletop and we're loading back up.
Too late, Trevor. Nope, doesn't count.
Let's see. Who's been in the chat? Sasha. Hey, Sasha. Brandon. I know lots of people. Wow. Who else
Okay.
is in here?
We're back in.
Are we? Okay, all right. But you,
fine.
let's re-up some server list.
Beautiful. Everything is where
That
it's
is a
supposed to be.
lot of chat. Okay, back in. Let's see if I can make it.
Server name still starts with a hashtag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess I should probably read the chat too.
Nah.
John's doing this out of the kindness of his heart, which is really great.
Yeah, I'm not pulling the server up for some reason.
I hit refresh.
Got there.
If you close tabletop and open it again, I think you'll find it.
All right. Oh, there it is. It finally populated.
Yeah.
Orange.
I'm gonna change colors to Brian's color.
Take his face.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's see, where were we? Oh, you were just about to murder me. Yep.
That's right. Yes.
Poetic justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't think this would still be here. So what is your token? You're stunned, meaning
I can't do anything.
so you'll have no okay. Right.
Yeah, I can't
You're a
touch
goner.
it. I'm a goner. I'm just sitting duck.
Origami.
Sounds good to me. All right, let's hit you with 3 and then 3 and die.
I die. You get 2 fame from the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
I draw a card from this deck. And then you get to draw 3 advantages and choose 1.
Where do we put our fame? There's
yeah.
Fame.
Sing it.
Steaming piles of sarcasm.
If you lose your leader, instead of putting the card in the graveyard, you just put it back in your
hand. That makes sense.
So he may come out with a vengeance.
He may come out for 2 of my 3 actions. I'm okay working under. I've won a game with just a rogue before, so I'm okay. I feel okay.
You tell yourself whatever you need to hear.
And I think you still have 1 action.
I do. I am going to go 1, 2, 3. That is me.
Okay. The monster's gonna move towards purple, which is this direction. And then he's going to attack my rogue and deal 2 damage to him, and I now have 1 health. It is now Evan's turn. And we lost Eric.
My turn? Oh.
Uh-oh. Quick, kill him before he comes back.
What do you mean? I'm here. I'm still here.
Oh, I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Oh, no, I disconnected. Timeout Steam client.
Well, while he's down, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and while he's not here.
I can watch on YouTube.
Whoops! I just picked up a blue dial and moved it somewhere. Okay, hold on now.
What's that? You took all his gold?
I did.
And his fame?
I took his fortune and his glory. They say never touch a man's glory. Okay, let's see.
Oh my.
I don't know why that's funny. Sorry.
Only a guy in a band named Asscrack.
I am going to once again stun Master Fang. And can I pick up this stun? Yes. The cleric.
Lots of stunning going on over there.
And then I'm gonna hit the rogue for 2. And then my ranger is going to use his special ability to mark him and then shoot him for 2.
Okay. So we'll do that in order. He takes 2 damage.
Yep.
You draw 2 cards from the advantage deck and discard one of them.
Okay. Boop. Right, I will. Let's see. Threat shift. Oh, I see. I will discard threat shift.
Okay.
And put my...
Oh no, we lost Trevor.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna save this again.
Just getting booted
Yeah.
left and right.
Beautiful.
I restarted it and it gave me another server error. It's not letting me connect for some reason.
Yeah,
Well, I'm killing your rogue. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I can hear the audio.
Trevor has Evan. You'll take 2 fame because you killed him using the ranger's ability.
All right. So I just grab him from the fame bag.
Yep. And then Evan, you get to draw a merchant or a random card. Which one would you like?
What does the merchant do?
The merchant can trade your coins for advantages and cards and such.
Random.
Okay. I will put him in your hand. It was a merchant. Congratulations.
I cannot grab the second fame chip. Okay. Fame bag?
Yeah. I'll sneak it for you. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, now I've got 2 fame there.
Yes.
Perfect.
Was that 3 actions or 2?
That was 3 actions. I stunned, attacked, attacked.
Okay. Monster's gonna move towards red, which is this way. And then he's going to attack your paladin for 2. Because he has the lower initiative of the options between your leader and himself.
I can't blame him.
And then it would be Eric's turn.
I'm trying one more time.
It's funny, Eric got booted, then I got booted, got back in, and then got booted and got back in.
It let me back in the first time, and then, all right.
We're in a very unique position because if Eric can't get back in, we can at least, he can still see and hear what's happening.
All right, let me back in.
All right.
Okay.
Let me do my turn, and then it can boot me.
Great.
All right. So I'll just move my monk up 3. I will attack for 1.
Okay. He will go to 3.
And then I will move him, use his ability and move 3 back.
Okay.
Oh, wait, but I'll move 3 back here. That way I can spawn my rogue.
Yeah, for free.
And I will, let's see, is anybody down on health? Did he attack any of my other people?
No, they're all at max.
Oh, those guys should be stunned, by the way. Oh, at the end of his turn, they
They
go.
are.
Okay.
Yeah, I just took it away.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Monster's gonna move towards orange. It's gonna get right up in my base. And
Right up in my baseness.
and then it's going to use its stun on the only character I have left. But I'm in my base, so abilities don't affect me, which is nice. I'm gonna spend my 1 turn with my 1 action, and I'm gonna kill the monster with my soldier. Unless anyone wants to give it health or a shield.
Oh, what happens if you kill it?
If I kill it, I will take its body as a trophy. The trophy counts as fame or fortune.
How many fame and fortune do you have?
I have 4 fame.
How much?
How many fortune do you have?
I have 0, but my rogue is standing on 2 of them.
So it's not that big a deal if you get that guy.
Another one will spawn in the middle, if that's, I don't. That's the benefit
Oh.
to you.
You already have 4 fame. Okay.
I do. I'd probably log it as a fortune.
I'll let you do it. I could save him, but I'll let you do it.
What do you have for coins?
I don't have any right now.
And if it does go down, does it go under him or does it go under you?
It would go immediately. If I rolled a coin, it would immediately give me the point because it's inside my base, regardless.
Okay. Because he's also got 2 coins here that gives him 3 coin and 4 fame. So I have to probably block that. But I don't know if this does block it or not.
Yeah, it would reduce. I'm gonna hit it for 3, and you're gonna shield it for 1. So I'm still gonna deal the 2 I need to kill it.
Okay. And this one doesn't do anything. No. Okay. No, I can't do anything unless somebody else has got something to help me.
I do, but I'm not going to do it.
Nah, sorry.
You're not gonna do it.
Okay.
He's gonna be 1 coin away from winning.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
Then we can move to feedback. It's okay.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Evan and I
We're locked in a battle.
We're gonna play out our side game here.
So I'll get 1 fame for attacking it. Actually, no, I can roll twice. I can roll twice because I deal 2 damage to it. Awesome. I will take a coin. The coin will go underneath my soldier, and then I'll immediately log the point. Then I killed the monster, so it doesn't get the chance to hit me back. And my second action will be to move my soldier to here, and my third action will be to guard himself and the rogue. I'll just put this here for now. At the end of my turn, I will summon.
They're calling for some reference card looks. Here we go. Read them and weep, Sasha.
I'm gonna play my wizard. Oh, I did this all wrong. All right, I'll play my wizard at the end of my turn. The wizard is over here. Beautiful. So just to give you a flair, I'm not sure which one will happen. I'll probably choose the undead pharaoh because that's my second favorite. Oh, and I killed the dragon, so my soldier gets the movement level up. Okay. On the monster's next turn, we summon a new one from the deck. I'm trying to find the deck. The deck seems to have moved away. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's upside down. So for show and tell, there are 6 total monsters. There's a dragon, a werewolf, a basilisk, a necromancer, a vampire, and a werewolf. So I'm just gonna flip one over, and then there's an undead pharaoh. I'm just gonna play with that one because I have the mini for it. So he's gonna spawn in the middle, and then it would be Trevor's turn. The pharaoh moves 1 space at a time. His range is 2. He hits for 3, and his ability is cursing you. If you're cursed, then every time you take damage, you take 1 more damage.
Does he say curses when he does it?
And the curse doesn't go away.
Curses.
Pretty much like that. Yeah, actually, if you want to give me the audio rights to that.
I would love to do the audio.
A video game.
Little voiceover. I'm into it.
That's also a board game. Curses.
Curses.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah. Where you curse players with little ailments. Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Yes, you are. It's your turn.
I'll move 2, and I will attack the monster.
Okay. So you would deal 2 damage to it. It goes to 10.
Yeah.
You roll the major reward die twice here. You can either get a fame immediately.
I'm good.
Okay.
No.
So you take a fame.
Well, what are the other options that can come up?
A coin goes underneath the soldier, or you can level the soldier up.
Yeah, I'm good.
So that means that you've hit. Oh, at some point you got 4 points, which means the Eric and Evan should have drawn an advantage card, but
4
sweet.
points.
I don't remember when you got a total of 4 points.
Oh, like between the coins and the
Yeah.
chip?
So you guys can.
Probably
Right.
last turn, so they should.
And if we draw a duplicated, we draw, then what? What do we draw?
You can draw a card from the character deck instead, and discard the duplicate.
Okay.
Okay, so that was 2.
Yeah, and then the monster will hit you back
Okay.
with an attack of 3.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
Back to me.
The monster's gonna go for you.
Oh, okay. Not quite back to me.
He's gonna move to red 1 space,
Uh-oh.
and then he's gonna use his ability and curse the character with the least range next to him, which I believe is the soldier.
Yeah.
So the soldier gets cursed. If the soldier would take damage, it takes +1 damage instead. The curse doesn't go away like normal things.
Curses.
You can only remove the curse with a dispel advantage, or by going back to your home base, which will remove the effect.
Okay.
Now it's Evan's turn.
Okay.
Evan's gonna keep beating the life out of Eric over here.
Well, he started it. Okay. So I'm going to move my cleric. 1, 2. I'm going to stun the cleric and the Master Fang.
Okay.
And then I am going to so let me see. My bard lets me trade fame for stuff, but I need fame to win.
That is the trade-off.
Okay. Not at this time. Oh, but I need 4 coins to win too, right?
Right.
Okay, I will trade the one of my fame for a level up.
Okay. So you'll draw 3 cards from the advantage deck, and then apply one of them to one of your characters.
Okay. Great. So I can get +2 health, which is just increased by 2 permanent max kind of thing.
Yeah, and 2 immediately.
Okay.
So a refresh and a max of +2.
And a dispel just means he can't be.
No abilities would work on him that you don't want.
Is that just forever?
Forever. Yep.
That seems pretty good. But instead of that, I'm going to do the +2 health on my awesome sauce leader.
The leader. Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes up to 5. His max is now 9. If you get it up that high.
Yeah.
And we will put this card here and then tuck it underneath.
Yeah. So I moved. I used the Bard ability. And then I'm going to heal him for 2.
Okay. We'll go to 7.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
nope.
Do you have one more thing?
Nope, I can't heal. I stunned. I used the Bard ability. And then I moved.
Oh, you moved. Okay.
So I can't heal him for those other 2. So he's still at 5.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Monster's going to move towards orange, 1 space, and then he's going to attack the highest initiative character here for 3, which is your leader. So your leader goes to 3.
Perfect.
You can shield him if you want, but I don't know
Shield.
how much it matters. Eric, you got a lot of cards in your hand. I wonder how much of them are advantages.
Several of them are advantages. They just work better in my hand than kind of looking at them on the map.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
4 of them are advantages. I don't know if you want to look at them.
Oh, I can only use 1 advantage per turn, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and heal my guy for 2 then.
Okay. He goes to 7.
I think I will use my little, well, it doesn't matter if I use it now or if I use it later. Never mind. The shield.
Well, it'll stay on until the start of your next turn. So if you get hit multiple more times by the monster, it would be.
Oh, I can't use it to block one of his hits. It's gonna, once I play it on this person, then it's gonna become active.
Yeah, if you played it on your leader,
Gotcha.
it would have a shield until its next turn.
Okay, but you can't play it in response to somebody attacking you.
No, you could.
So I could make this, I could change this to 4 right now if I wanted to.
Yep. And then
Oh,
and then
oh wait.
and then he gets a shield. Okay.
Oh, I see. He gets a. Okay, wait. I didn't read it right. Sorry. So my computer's doing weird things. It changed my frame on me, so I couldn't see it. So protect the character from 1 damage from all sources until the start of its next turn. So if I put it on it right now, would it protect me from that? Like, would it bring me back to 4?
Yeah, it would.
Okay, let's do it.
All right,
I don't know if that's
so-
the right decision or not, but I'm doing it anyway.
He goes back up to 4. And if he were to get hit until the start of your turn, it's -1 every time.
Okay, and where?
I think it's over here.
Oh, sorry.
And then it's. Man, Trevor, so he's just stunned you every turn, huh? Eric.
Yeah. I'll save that for comments.
If that doesn't feel good, that's weird.
Yeah, maybe it's a little broken
What does it mean
mechanic.
if he's
I don't know.
What does it mean if he's stunned me?
He can't act with those 2
Can't act
guys.
at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we're stuck in this permanent stalemate over in our area of the board where it's nearly impossible for me to kill that character.
Yes.
But it's also, yeah, so.
Well, I am slowly gaining an action to bring in those 2 coins.
Yeah.
And then I can keep killing your guys slowly over time to gain more fortune.
Yeah.
Or more fame.
don't worry, guys. I'll handle the pharaoh.
So, like,
So it's my turn.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Eric's turn.
Oh, sorry.
So over the
because-
course of time, I will slowly grind away
Yeah.
a win
Okay.
that way.
So it's my go. I'm moving monk 3. I'm moving rogue, and then I'm spawning a character as my 3rd. I'm spawning a what is it, a soldier.
Oh, there you go. That'll change the equation a little bit.
Yeah.
The monster will move towards yellow 1 space. And then he will attack the character with the least initiative, which is next to him, which is the soldier. And since the soldier is cursed, the soldier would take 2 damage instead, and that would kill it. So he dies. You draw a card from either deck. The monster gets 1 more fame. They're at 4 now.
Ooh.
And then it goes to my
Yep.
turn. I don't know why this coin is here. I don't think it should be. But my first action is to move my rogue to here. And then that'll give me.
I'll
that'll
hold
give
it
me-
for you.
Yeah, that's fine. And that'll give me 4 of each points. So that'll end the game.
Oh, does it? Okay.
I have 3 fortune, and then the monster counts as a 4th.
I tried to tell you, but nobody cares.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, no, I kind of saw it coming.
That's okay. I know. I feel bad, Bob, but you know, there's not much else we can do over here.
I think that if you guys play more, you'll realize that like the stalemate's great, but you're not going to win that way. So eventually you'd stop doing it, but maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, my advantage over here was too slow to win with, for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know of any way of getting out of this stalemate because if he doesn't stun these people, then he realizes I'm going to come in and kill this person.
Well, and take the money, yeah.
Yeah,
That's so I had to do that, essentially.
I agree.
Let's
Yeah.
do feedback. You want to start, Eric?
Sure, let me bring up my notes and
Oh, yeah.
then
Sure.
I'll mute myself because my keyboard's like really loud.
Clacky.
Oh, that's fine.
Clacky.
Yeah, I was taking some notes as we were playing. Some of the positives off the start. I think it's got a very beautiful table presence. I really like what you've got set up here. I really like the art that you've got on the cards, which is amazing for a prototype. I mean, it feels like published game art, not a prototype art. I like that. I feel like there might be an issue with too much randomness in the game, particularly with regards to the way that the monster in the middle is moving. Early in the game, I felt like I had a really strong advantage because the monster is way over here on the other side of the board based on the dice rolls. I felt like I had a clear path over here. And in fact, I don't think at any point in the game did the monster really ever come over in my quadrant at all. And that was totally based on randomness. And it, notwithstanding that, it did kill me twice. So I don't know. I just felt like I had no agency over the monster. Like I didn't know what it was going to do, how it was going to do it, and it took me. I couldn't plan around it. I couldn't make any interesting decisions in the game with regards to how that monster was going to act. Well, 1 second. What are else I got? Oh, the turn seemed like there was a long lag between turns, and I was kind of going through and kind of like looking on YouTube how many minutes it was in between my turns.
Yeah, I kept
And
track too.
I think it was averaging. I mean, they got a little bit faster as we went further in the game, but even later in the game, it was about 6, 7 minutes in between my turns, which I think might be a problem. And I can only imagine what that would scale up to if you had 5 or 6 players. Let's see, the game time. What did we end up at? Just under 2 hours. That seems fine for a game of this sort of weight. But then overall, it didn't seem like I got a whole lot of turns in those 2 hours. Let me see. What else do I have in my notes? Give me 1 second here.
Well, that's not the correct math.
Yeah, and then I mean, of course, the whole other thing is just the spamming the exact same move over and over and over again. It felt really unsatisfying the way that we were set up here, where basically I do feel like Evan was doing the correct move, freezing these two characters every round, but then it just took us both. It just felt like we ended up in some sort of clash where neither one of us could get out of it. I'm not sure how to maybe get around that other than I don't know, give me some sort of card to block his ability to freeze me or something. I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking out loud at this point if somebody else wants to jump in.
I think that would be the dispel card that Trevor used a couple times. That would have been one way, but you just didn't have that advantage.
Yeah.
The good news is a teams variant for 4 players. It solves most of the stalemate issue that you were feeling. I just didn't want to play that way tonight.
I'll hold off. I think that's the bulk of my notes right now, and maybe I'll chime in as some other people bring up issues that they see.
Yeah, sounds
So
good. Trevor?
Okay. Yeah. This doesn't look like a prototype, which is good and bad, but like, because you've been working on it for 5 months. Normally, I'd say you've put too much into it to probably not want to change anything now. That's what I tend to do. I make a beautiful looking thing. I play test it like 5 times and I make it look beautiful. But that's not what you've done. You've play tested this 75 times with a group of 4 different guys. So that's a little bit different. You've probably, got it honed a lot more where you want it. So normally I'd say that's a negative, but I don't necessarily think it is, and I do it myself. And you have graphic design chops, obviously, so I say go ahead and do what you want to do. The only thing I would caution is make sure that you never like, oh, I don't want to change that, even though I know I should. I don't want to change it because it's so much work. Um, you don't ever want to get yourself in that position, and I do it all the time. So,
can I
speaking
jump
of
in with a quick question, really quick? Did you do the art yourself, or is this somebody else?
That's AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the art is Mid-Journey for
Yeah.
the pictures, and then everything else is me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
John will attest that I change it probably too frequently.
Well, that's good. All I'm saying is don't be afraid to change it, because sometimes you get yourself so deep in the aesthetic that you're kind of against making those changes. But um, overall, I think it looks beautiful. Um, you're gonna get some flack for using Mid-Journey art, but it's just a prototype. If you're planning on publishing with that, uh,
Right.
it's just a hot topic right now. Um, and most of the artists are not going to be happy. But that's a totally different discussion. Um, I think the graphic design is awesome. That's obviously you. I think it was clear. I don't pretend to know what everything is, but it's all right here. So if I have to look at something, it's a lot, but it's all right here, and it's nicely, clearly laid out. So I can see your graphic designer background definitely coming through. Um, I like the idea of getting is it adventure cards or what is it? It's the level up for your backpack. Yeah, the adventure cards. I like the idea of the fame and the gold coins and how you're collecting them. Uh, the one thing that, well, let's see. Let me just go through my list here. So the monster seems like it's bad at first, but then if you realize you're getting stuff from the monster, it's actually really good for you to sacrifice something to get stuff from that monster, especially if you can pull some fame from them. So it seemed overpowered either way. If you were afraid of the monster, he was going to attack you and you're not attacking him because you're afraid of the retaliation, or you just moving in and attacking him. Of course, I've got markers on me, so I can't do that, but that's what my plan was, to just move in and attack him twice, take 2 fame, hopefully, and then add 2 more fame to my board. That seems super powerful considering I only need 4. So if the monster comes to visit you, it seems like it's a big advantage in the game. Now, I'm talking after one playtest. This is all perceived stuff. I don't know if any of this is true. It's just kind of what I was feeling as I was going through the game. And I did see you do that in your area when he came over here. You just attacked him, and were willing to sacrifice for trying to get coins and fame. Unless I misread that piece. So for me, that's the biggest sticking point, is what this monster is doing, and also just the combat. I'm assuming this is a 3. What was the player count? Is it 2 to 6?
It looks like, or 1 to 6. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 2 to 6. I was
It's
still
2 to
working on
6.
the solo player mode, but yeah.
I'm just wondering what it's like when there's a 3-player going on. It kind of feels like I'm assuming you would have to start in totally thirds of the board. And then as soon as people started attacking each other, it feels like the other person might have a bit of a free run. So I'm wondering what it's like at 3. Of course, I haven't seen it, so I'm just
Yeah, I
guessing.
think it definitely changes every time there's a different player count. It just feels like a different game, which is kind of fun. Kind of like you'll never play the same game twice for sure. The only weird ones are 4 players weird because it looks weird, and 5 players weird because there's like one empty spot.
Right.
But there's certain the teams gets around to the 2-player variant with the 4 players, and the 5 players you kind of you start different players start with advantages over other players to make up for the hollow space.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that's dealt with. But yeah, definitely a different game every time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that sounds like it could be a good solution if you're next to the hollow space, you get different things than the other peeps. What else did I have? We already talked about the monster. I won't go into that anymore. I like the fact that I'm rolling a d12 and a d8. I just like the dice. We talked about time frame. I think, yeah, 2 hours is, I mean, there's some weight to this for sure. So it's probably in the right time frame. I was hoping for a little bit faster, but um, it's right in there probably. I kind of could see that you were going to win about 25 minutes before you did, maybe 20 minutes before you did. So that didn't feel the greatest.
I could have slowed him down, but I couldn't have stopped it.
Yeah. So it did feel like there was a winner kind of announced with a lot of time left in the game. And that's not a great feeling. I just didn't have enough turns to go grab things. And then once this guy came out, it totally botched me. But even if he hadn't come out, I think you would have made it happen. But I don't know. We didn't get a chance to play that out and have this guy go this way and me get, the chance to actually do my stuff over here and maybe battle it out with you. So maybe I could have stopped you. I'm not sure. But that was the feeling. So take that for what it is. I was a little concerned about the component count. Just from a production point of view. You said you had mentioned that you were thinking of kickstarting. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I mean, Evan might disagree with me on this, but it feels like if you're kickstarting, you're making those decisions yourself and deciding what's worth it and what's not. So generally, if you're kickstarting, I think you can get away with a higher component count, depending on if you're looking to make an MSRP version or not.
Yeah.
If you're not, and you're just kind of looking for like the one version, and then you see what happens with it, maybe you can make it more cardboard or something later. But I mean, you could make a lot of these pieces just cardboard, so maybe it's not an issue, but it just seems like there's a lot of pieces here, and you're going to need a lot of doubles because here we can just copy them. But have you tried making a physical of this yet, or has it all been TTS?
Yeah, no, I have the physical copy behind me.
Okay.
It's I've been using the laser cutter and 3D printer type thing, but
Yeah.
it all fits into a risk box, which is nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Ideally, these little guys would be standees The monsters, the 6 of them are all minis, and then everything else is uh pretty simple to make. The hardest thing is like just making the standee in this ring. I have no idea how to do that, but that's a later
Yeah.
thing.
No, I mean, I think it's doable. That was just a thought, is the number of stuff. And I mean, if it fits inside a risk box, it probably fits in like a 12 by 12 with a little bit more depth, maybe. I don't know. How big is the board? Is it a standard like 20 by 20?
It's on the backside of a Monopoly board.
Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's an Axis and Allies box, so
Yeah.
Just to
Not
jump in
really.
really quick. The ring is really cool, but an easier way to track health would just be use like a clip on the standee and just track it on the numbers. You know, like a little just imagine a paper clip on the card and you have numbers all around the edges, tracking its health as it goes along.
Oh, kind of like doing this with it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely write it down. This is like the. It's been hard to like figure out a good way to do it, but this one works. But there's still definitely issues, so definitely down to keep working on how exactly. It used to start with you put dice on your cards, but then people liked actually seeing the health like on the board instead of on the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
Um, and I know I kind of talking about the randomization of the monster, kind of what Eric was mentioning. But the one thing I really did like about the monster, which can be difficult in games that have an automation, is which way do they go? And having this compass rose over here is really nice, to make it super clear as to what's going to happen when he does move and do his thing. Other than that, I think that was all the stuff on the game. Having a group of like 5 guys to get together and do something like this is amazing. And yeah, you're incredibly lucky to be able to work and be able to get 75 playtests in 5 months. That is amazing.
So it's
Pretty
not
good.
it's not all those 5 people, but that's the main team. I bring it
Right.
to work a couple times. I think there's probably like
Yeah.
20 people in the Discord.
Well, I mean, to put it in perspective, like I try and get mine done, get playtests in. I think I've had 55 since last June, July, maybe.
Okay.
And that's me trying to get. So, I mean, if you have the group to be able to playtest it, it gives you just such a leg up to be able to make changes and hit it again. So, yeah, that's a big plus. But not necessarily game specific. So I'm going on a tangent now. That's all I got. Go ahead, Evan.
All right.
Unless you got any questions about that, Brian, anything I mentioned.
No, I got some things I'll say later in the discussion section, but thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's new in the chat. Sorry guys in the chat if I missed anything, and if there's something you really want me to ask him here live, just type it now and keep it clean. The one thing I did notice is Sasha was mentioning stuff on the card, as far as visual complexity, and I agree with that, and I'm going to come back to that as far as graphic visual stuff. But let me start at the top of my page, or I will get lost. Coin carry limit. I initially thought that it was weird that was a thing that seemed important, and then I realized it is really important. So I was thinking that was a stat you could probably cut, but now I'm not so sure that I agree with myself of 2 hours ago. The iconography is super, super cool, but it is too detailed for seeing from any distance. So I would this is another great example of like, it's a bummer to have done a lot of awesome work and then need to change it. But my personal opinion is these are too detailed for the size at which we're going to be interacting with them in a quickly relatable way.
Do you mean on the
Um,
cards or the dice?
the icons. So like, um, you know, these suckers, these suckers.
Okay. So like the condition markers?
Some of them are actually totally fine. Like here, I'll pull up the conditions list. Um, Guarded, pretty straightforward. Stunned, pretty straightforward. Dispel, pretty straightforward. Um, Dazed, pretty straightforward. Detained, pretty straightforward. I think everything else is a little too visually complex for the size that you'll be interacting with it.
Okay. I didn't know if
Um,
you meant like the attack symbols on the actual cards themselves.
let me.
Like the five symbols in the middle of the card.
Let me look. No, those are exactly what icons should look like at that size.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly this stuff.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know, some of them are pretty straightforward, and then other ones are like super detailed for, you know, what you're going to be actually interacting with it size wise. You know, like for example, uh, you know, this icon here. I don't know what that is. And the, you know, like the difference between these three icons on the board at a distance, at a glance, is not perceptible. Right. So if I just glance over there, I have no idea which one's which. I'd have to like look really close, which kind of obviates the whole use of an icon. Right. Because it should make that visual interaction really fast to recognize things at a glance. So they're just a little bit too complex for the size that they're going to be used at, I think. Right. I mean, obviously, it's tougher to tell in an online implementation. When you're in person, it's a lot easier to know if icons are the right complexity versus size or not. But it appears that that would be true. You know, I don't really know. But I would say most icons on this advantage list are kind of exactly where they should be, except maybe loot limit and threat shift is a little weird, but overall those types of icons are pretty easy to parse and really quick to interact with, versus some of the ones you have on the conditions list. Anyway, advantages versus level ups. I don't know. There's your game is at a very interesting weight, and so I was tempted to tell you just need to pick whether they're just permanent level ups as you go through the game, or if they're one-time uses, and just like stick with that one way of using those cards. Um, I'm tempted to say that. I don't know if I agree with myself. I would probably have to play it a little bit more and probably actually play it in person to see how it really feels. Um, but right now, there was enough confusion as far as when I get to level up versus when I get to use them as one-time potion things, that I didn't think the disparity um, was worth the difference. Plus, you had, I think it's 5 one-off rules to handle advantages. That to me says cut them as advantages and just make them level ups. But again, one play, not in person. Tough to say if that's actually going to be the right call or not. Time between turns was a lot. For me, I took 6 turns, and it was an average of 12 and 2/3 minutes between turns. Um, it's not the most egregious, you know, between turn timing, and I assume that that's going to be mitigated in person as well, of course, right? Like we were dropping in and out of tabletop simulator and fiddling with dials, and you know what I mean. So I'm assuming that obviously that's going to be picked up a little bit on the table, and at that point it might actually be totally fine. But in this implementation, currently as it worked, over 12 minutes between turns was just a little too long. And then if that ends up being true, generally in your feedback from outside groups, then obviously you can mitigate that in various ways. You can have people just take 2 actions on their turn, yada yada. There's different ways to mitigate it. But let's see. Luck of the bad guy attacking me. So in the first couple of turns, he just came over and bogged me down, and while everybody else was off gaining gold and fame or whatever the heck they were doing, reaching goals of the thing. And it was tough. The randomness of that monster was enough where I didn't understand. I couldn't appreciate in a simple fashion the benefit or detriment of interacting with that monster or having him over near me, right? Because at first I was like, oh, great, he's bunging me up while everybody else is off doing their thing. And then I was like, oh, actually, maybe you can get good stuff from the bad guy. But then when I actually tried attacking him, I was like, oh, not really. Like I got 1 coin. Um, and I don't know, maybe that is balanced. I have no idea. But while I was watching other people go grab like 2 coins, he was over here damaging me and dropping 1 coin. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But then of course he like took off and started, rolling over you guys. So I don't know. Was it unlucky towards me because it happened at the beginning of the game versus later in the game? I don't really know. I do know that there was a lot of luck happening with what that bad guy was doing. I just don't know how good or bad it is to have that bad guy come after you. So I don't know. There are lots of one-off rules throughout the gameplay. I didn't start writing them all down until I was like, wow, that's a lot. So I missed the first 5 or 6 of them or whatever. But the ones I did write down was, and a lot of them have to do with advantages. Why I was like, maybe you should just cut that whole thing and just make them level ups only. Yeah, I don't know. Draw 2, pick 1. You can only play 1 per turn. You can't have multiple of the same type. You can only gain 1 advantage per turn, regardless of how many times you would trigger gaining an advantage. I don't know what that means. I can't read my handwriting. If you try to draw 1 and you draw a duplicate, you instead draw a character card. So like those were all revolving around advantages, and it's all like these little weird edge, like trying to hold things together rules, right? Rather than just like a simple system.
Is definitely a long part of the rule book. All right. Yep.
Another weird one that may or may not be necessary is that home base removes conditions. I don't know. Maybe it is necessary. Who knows? And that let me see. There was another. Why can't I read this? In base abilities. Oh, in base no abilities. Home base removes conditions. You can't have abilities played on you in your home base. I don't know. Maybe that's totally fine. If that's your one-off rule, and that one is actually necessary, awesome. One-off rule, no big deal. When you hit the monster, the randomness to me was weird, and I was like, do I need this die? Can't I just like be like, hey man, I'm facing the big bad. Can't I just choose my benefit? You know, like I already got the randomness of him over here messing with me. At least let me gain the benefit that I need out of it. You know what I mean?
Fair, fair. Yep.
And then you can ditch a die too. Um,
We haven't gotten to that yet, but there's almost no dice happening soon. I don't know
oh,
how
really?
Trevor's gonna feel about it, but yeah, we'll get to that feedback.
Win conditions. It seems like, leveling your guy up 6 times is like was an outgrowth of some weird strategy that somebody wanted to do in your regular play group. And I'm not sure it's really necessary in the game as a thing to keep in the back of your brain because it didn't really seem like it was an overly strategic pathway to do. Maybe I'm wrong. If it is a strategic pathway that's interesting and engaging, then maybe it's worth keeping. But I didn't notice how you would really go about doing that. Because the level up benefit is random die roll, so like I don't know. I'm not sure how you would choose to do it. It might just happen sometimes, which would be a weird way to win.
Got it.
Stun, not fun. I think it's fine as an ability that a monster could do to you, but as a player able to stun other players, like I think it's a very reasonable ability to have in a game like this. But you do have to consider, is your player base the kind of player base that wants to play a no kind of scenario, or do they want to play a yes scenario? And depending on the players, frankly, either could be correct, right? If I play Magic the Gathering and I love blue decks, like you better
Yeah,
believe
you're one of those.
I'm going to bog you down and you're never going to be able to play the game and you're going to rage quit and then I win. Right? A lot of
We
people
love a
don't
good blue player.
a lot of people don't find that very fun. And basically I was playing a blue deck, you know, which
Yeah.
is I bog you down for a long time and then eventually I grind out a win.
I didn't find it very fun.
Yeah. And then finally my crab, runs over your face.
It looked hilarious from over here.
While you guys were off doing things.
The wizard actually used to be able to stun everyone that was around him, so this is even nerf from that.
I mean, I don't think he's unbalanced per se. I just don't know if it's fun.
Canceling everything a character could possibly do is like a lot. Maybe it should just be a dragon thing, I feel that.
I had an idea about that actually. What if you, instead of having Dispel as a card that I have to draw to play, what if it's one of your base actions you can do? So I can dispel a curse on a character as one of my actions. It's just to lose one action instead of this character's out the entire round.
Yeah, I would have to change my wizard around because the wizard's ability is to dispel things, but that's like a easy thing we could consider.
Right. I mean, if the wizard dispels 2 things, then it's like, or maybe that's not useful. I don't know. Anyway, that would make this leader still very viable if a person can use an action to like shake it off or whatever. Let me see, and then it wouldn't feel as bad. Let me see. The
kind of like shaking it off.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it would be.
And then you could totally get rid of the base ability, all the one-off base rule, where when you're in home base you lose your conditions. Like then you don't even need that. So if you want to get rid of a condition, use an action. That's how that's done. Or somebody might have a spell that removes two conditions or whatever. The number of actions you can choose from: move a character, attack a character, use an ability, recruit a character. You cannot use the same action for the same character more than once per turn. The only one I'm really looking at there is recruit a character. Just because I didn't really see it used other than a very edge case scenario where in order to turn the tide of my slow grind, Eric was going to bring in a fifth guy. Like, so, it's an edge case reason to do it. If you see that ability being used all the time in playtesting, keep it. I'm wrong. That's great. If you don't see it being used very regularly, I would just let it be. Hey, you've got 4 guys out. you know,
Yeah,
if
it
if
was it
if
was
you're down to
definitely
3,
you could. It was originally you could go up to 7. Which turns out most people just use 4 at a time,
right?
maybe less.
Yeah.
And then we got to the point where for like maybe 15 playtests or so, you just only had 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And while it felt normal, people were like, if you did get into that off case, they were like, now what do I do? Everyone
Yeah.
was stunned. So that was kind of why
Right.
it's allowed,
Yeah.
but not
Then to
necessarily
me,
like
that
an
sounds
immediate
like
action.
stun is the issue rather than
Yeah.
allowing an extra guy to be put out for whatever, for 2 actions or whatever the thing is.
Right.
Let me see. And then you could swap in, shaking it off instead of the adding a guy to the board. Then you'd still only have the 4 actions.
Gotcha.
If that ended up being a good fix for that stun issue, basically. Obviously, only playtesting will tell you, but that's one way you could do it. Okay. Stuff on the cards. So, let's look at the Bard. He does look sweet. He's got some very interesting fingers, but he looks pretty dope. On the cards, your general iconography is very clear, right? I've got a foot, I've got a heart, I've got a bow, which is not exactly ranged damage. It's range. So the fact that it's a bow is a little weird. I might swap that out with just a different icon that insinuates distance rather than ranged attacking. Because
I'm all ears if you got one.
I've seen a bunch. I've never seen an amazing one, but I've seen a bunch, and they usually involve like an X and then like dots,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then like another thing that's like that's my target.
I can see why you'd be confused by it.
But it looks like an attack ability
Right.
rather than just a
Okay.
range, which could be applied to my attack or to my ability. Right?
Yep.
It just looks like a bow. Then the persuade, that icon, that like just let it be a triangle. The little wispy doos are almost imperceptible and just make it fuzzy. I assume if I zoom in really farther than I can zoom in on TTS that it looks really neat, but so the left hand side, that icon there, right on my Bard, is a cool icon, but it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really mean anything. Like
So it is the condition of charm. So the Bard's a very rare case that I haven't fixed it yet, but all of the icons should be the condition marker equivalent
right
of what it does. This should be.
Mm-hmm.
That left side of the page is also just kind of like filler because I don't know what to put there. It's very like unnecessary, the whole thing.
Right. So basically, I would cut it and just let that be. This text box is where you find the ability of the guy that you could choose. Because it's just extra visual clutter.
Isn't that the right? Do you mean like the ability goes over both pages, or
right? It wouldn't. Maybe it just wouldn't be 2 pages or whatever. It would just be one spot where you have the ability.
Oh, I see.
Or if you are basically, it's like if you're gonna go with the icon, go with the icon. If you're not gonna have a useful icon, don't put the icon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like my Archmage, like that icon does map to stun if I go look for it. which would be fine. But then on the right side, you also say stun up to 2, paralysis wave, yada yada. And so basically, it's like, oh, just the way it's done graphically, I'm like, I have an icon and I have these words. So are those two separate abilities that are very similar? Yes.
Gotcha.
Currently, right? Because if I reference that icon, let's go see what it says. It says stunned characters cannot move, attack, or use their abilities. Okay. But that's just a reference to a rule. It's not actually an action. It's a condition. Okay. And then paralysis wave says stun up to 2 adjacent characters who are both within range. So basically, if you wanted to use that icon in the course of the ability, right, you replace the word stun with that icon. Because right now, they're not really relative to each other exactly. They're kind of just both sitting on the page confusing you.
Okay. Yeah, that's
right?
good. I'll definitely try that out and see what it looks like.
I mean, it's pretty small. It's not the end of the world, but it is a point of extra information to somebody who's trying to learn the game. And I don't know if that's specifically what Sasha was talking about, but that's my take from it on those cards is that I think there's some unnecessary extra information and visual clutter going on the card. The conditions list, I would pick like 6. 6 conditions that are like commonly used, useful, really cool, and then save the rest for expansions and super crazy cool new monsters or whatever. Just to increase the usability and playability.
Yeah, the plan is to have like the base game come out with 9 characters and 3 monsters.
Yeah.
So that should cut this in half.
Perfect.
And then all of that would be an expansion would be like 1 new character, 1 monster, and 1 leader type thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think 6 is kind of the max as far as like the trackable, rememberable conditions without having to reference every time.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
then,
half of those are just a combination of other things.
Right. And then, for example, like the Ranger's ability, he's got like an icon that you reference over there, which puts a marker on a guy. But if you actually look at the mechanism, you don't need an icon or a marker. Because effectively it says, when he attacks, deal 2 damage. If the guy dies, take an extra fame. Right? There's like marking is purely a thematic additional mechanical sub mental step that's happening that doesn't actually change the outcome of what you're doing in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it used to be if anyone else kills a marked character, they get nothing instead. So it was relevant afterwards, but that's not a thing anymore. So that's a good point.
Yeah. So as it stands, like it's kind of just some rules bloat and icon bloat for no, like it doesn't actually do anything currently.
Right.
The chat is going off the rails.
They're all disagreeing with me. Evan is the worst.
Oh no, they're talking about mall cops.
Oh, they're just going off.
And
okay.
Segways.
Paul Blart. Okay.
Segways about segways.
Segways about segways. Yeah, so that's one ability that currently doesn't need to have a condition or the icon or any of that stuff. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Trevor said I might disagree with him about the differences between kickstarting stuff like this and not kickstarting stuff like this. I do not disagree. A game like this does great on Kickstarter and poorly in retail, generally. Unless you can make like a really cheap version. But typically people aren't even going to want to buy the really cheap version because they're going to want the sweet, you know, figurines and yada yada. And I hate to say it, but anybody who is out there ringing the bell saying, figurines, it's plastic and it's destroying the environment and we hate it and we don't want games with figurines. Um, Unfortunately, that's not what consumers have decided is true. I don't know how else to say that.
Biodegradable acrylic. That's what we're working on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you can get around that in any way, that's great. But like on crowdfunding, if you put a bunch of minis on a map on a game, you increase your funding level a lot.
Yeah.
Like that they're like and anybody who's like that shouldn't be the way it is, it's like, well, okay, but that is the way it is. So I don't know what to tell those people. Yeah, if you can make it biodegradable, awesome. I love that. Um, but what I'm looking at here is a great crowdfunding product. Um, tougher, tougher in retail unless you like really hit it huge on crowdfunding. Um,
We're thinking of making the monsters minis and everything else standee.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Um, I haven't played a ton of these and don't really watch this particular sector of the market that close. So I don't know if middle grounds sell well or if you lose everybody. You know what I mean? Like if the people who complain about figurines just aren't going to buy your game anyway, and then the people who love figurines aren't going to buy it because it's standees.
Sure.
I don't
Good
know.
point. Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know either.
But that's some great market research to do. Is be like,
Yeah.
okay, what other games have tried this where there's like one sweet mini and everything else is standees, and how well did it do crowdfunding? How well did it do retail? And kind of check that out and find out. Because maybe it does make it more retail viable, and maybe those people who are complaining about miniatures does come in and be like, oh look, this guy's doing it right. You know, we're gonna support him. I don't know, maybe, but it's interesting. I'll be curious to see. Um, Let me see. Too many conditions. Pick six. Um, okay. My last note is for working on this for 5 months. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like it's like
Is that a bad thing?
obviously no, it's ridiculous in a good way. The
Oh,
progress you have made on this in that short amount of time is ridiculous. It looks good. It's playable. Um, I was having fun with it. I mean, yeah, there are issues, and yeah, some things aren't quite, maybe whatever, but like, it's a fun, playable game. If you kicked it out the door tomorrow, I mean, yes, there would be a shitstorm over the Midjourney thing, and there would be some other things, but it's a playable product that looks reasonable, that is playable, and I was having fun with, right? And to be at that place at this point in the journey of a game is very, very impressive.
thanks.
So let's talk about playtests. 75 playtests, is that what you said?
Yep.
How many different people would you say have playtested it?
Probably 30, maybe
30?
40.
That's not bad. That's more than I was thinking. Because typically, what my expectation was going to be that you were going to say, well, it's our group of 5 guys, and that's just it's great to have that, but it is also play warping, and you end up with something that is really dense and tough for new players, with all these weird little side rules that made sense in that one game that happened that one time that guy was yelling about, and that he really needed you to fix it.
Right,
Um,
right.
And then everybody gets so attached to certain things that they don't go when they should go, or get changed when they should get changed. Um, but 30 people, that's a lot better. So I think you're primed to really do something awesome with this.
I usually listen to someone say. I usually write things down, and if it's said more than like 3 times, then I
Yeah,
start like giving it some serious. At this point,
yeah. I
if
think
it's
that's
some random guy, I'm
yeah,
just like, all right,
yeah. I think that's a pretty good way to handle it. Because if if you're consistently hearing a thing, like, well, you should probably pay attention. If it's just some weird dude named Evan who's like opinionated about everything, and he's like, cut this and cut that, and that sucks. Then and nobody else ever had an issue with that. Then like, maybe you don't listen to me. Because I think that's actually a really good way to handle it. If you're hearing something consistent, it's an issue. Those people might be wrong about how to fix that issue. And more often than not, as a newer designer, people paste on rules instead of change the core system that is flawed. So I would say, you know, when you're trying to solve for something, um, try to see where the issue is in the core system rather than paste on rules. Um,
right.
but overall, man, like I said, where it's at for your experience level and how long you've been working on it, it's really awesome.
Thanks.
Super
Appreciate it.
cool. I'm really excited to see what happens with this and where you go with it.
Me too.
Let's see what else. If we have any other big important things in the somebody's out of their element. I don't know if it's Donnie or not. Did anybody else say anything that they actually want discussed in the chat?
The biggest thing that I saw in the chat was suggestion of both Bob and Sasha that they thought 3 would make more sense than 4 players on the board.
Oh, player count?
Uh, no, the pieces that you could control. So you could control three
Oh,
different characters instead of 4. They thought 4 was plugging it up, and 7 would be ridiculous. But I'm paraphrasing.
okay.
But it's all there, Brian. They've got it all in the chat,
In
so
the
you can
chat.
go
Okay.
back and read it properly and
Um,
quickly.
and when this goes to YouTube, you'll usually have to wait a day or two for the comments to populate.
Okay.
It'll have no comments for a day or two, so they will show up, just not immediately.
Okay. Great.
Like once we go off, if you're planning to like come back and read the comments, like they're there now in the live stream, but then they won't actually repopulate for a day or two. But they will. Okay, so from this playtest, what has stuck out with you as far as like things you're looking, what stuck out, things you're looking to mess with, what was revealed in this playtest that you hadn't noticed before, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Are you guys still in the? You're still in the tabletop, right?
I am.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what I've changed in the past 2 days, and maybe I'd love some feedback on it.
Yeah.
It's based on the comments that happened around like monster randomness is great, but hard to plan around. Although you do like that it is an AI system that is well thought out. Um, we were talking earlier about removing some dice from the game, etc. But so what I've done in the past few days is, and I just refreshed the game here, so your assets are going to have to reload.
That's
Um,
okay.
but I removed the monster. Basically, I removed these 2 dice, the action dice and the directional dice, and I've
Mhm.
replaced them with 2 different decks. So on the monster's turn now, you flip 1 card of each deck. One tells you what it's going to do. So this would go after the highest threat level with its ability,
Mhm.
and the other goes after the blue player. So the monster, instead of choosing a direction to run in, chooses a team to go after. It moves towards that team and then tries to hit the highest, in this case, the blue player with the highest threat level with their ability. So it takes agency out of random movement and more. It's not going to end up running into the distance for no reason. It's more so always going to go to a player. It also gives the player a little bit of agency over how it moves, because if there's any ambiguity as to how this character is supposed to target one over here and like move 3 spaces, the team who's going after gets to decide in which way the monster moves towards them. So there's a little bit of agency as to like where this player with where the monster could end up. So kind of reduces the components by 2 dice. It adds decks which are usually cheaper, and the symbols are cleaner and larger and easier to understand. It reduces the randomness of the monster going everywhere. Something that didn't happen in the game we played is if you attack the monster and its range doesn't allow it to hit you back. Say if you hit it with a ranger at 3 and its range was 1, what happens normally in the game is you get a token that like the monster watches that character. And then if it would ever hit it later, it's going to target the watched thing as a priority. In this version, if the monster say is trying to go after this pirate over here because he's orange, then he would move towards orange as far as he can. But if he still can't reach him, basically you just take the card out of the deck. You would have just drawn orange. If you don't end up getting to orange, you put the card back in the deck. So the longer the game goes on, if the monster's not hitting your players, then the cards go back in the deck and you have a higher likelihood of being hunted down later until the deck runs out. It also lets you, the monster action deck versus the die also lets you do more things in the future if you ever wanted to like do something special with the monster that you don't want to put on a die, like have it rest or AoE type things. So that's kind of like something I've recently thought about and changed. And I obviously have to test that a lot more because I wrote the rules like yesterday for it, but definitely want to see like what it actually accomplishes and if it just makes it more complicated.
Does that strike anybody? I've got an opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I also have an opinion.
Yeah, same here, but I'll let somebody. I
Okay,
feel like
you all
I'll
like
go
rolling
first.
the dice.
go ahead, Trevor.
I'll go first. So you've got 36 more cards and 36 more cards, which is 72 more cards. I don't know that 72 more cards is going to be cheaper than 2 dice, but these are custom dice, of course. That all being aside, you could do the same thing with the dice, you just don't have the control. If you were going to do that, and I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but I would like the idea of, let's say you've got 4 players like we had today. You put a green one in, you put a yellow one in, you put a purple one in, you put a red one in, and you put the blank one in, whatever that is. Like it would look different than this. It would just be no, that wouldn't work. How would you do it? I think 36 is too much. I think it would be fun to see, oh, well, the green one came up. We know green isn't coming up for the next 4 turns.
Okay. Yeah.
But also having a dummy card in here that would say something else so that purple might come up, yellow might come up, and the dummy card might come up. Or maybe the dummy card comes up first. So then now you might be full of piss and vinegar thinking that my card's not going to, like now this one and this one comes up. Now you're like, okay, well, if you can remember 5 cards and know that you haven't seen yours yet, you're like, ooh, is it going to be the green or is it going to be the purple? And that to me would give you more allegiance with your, because with 36, there's a 1 in 6, like there's 6 copies of it in this deck, of course.
Yeah, there'd be 6 of each player's color.
Yeah. So I think I would prefer something like this where I can kind of see what's coming. But at the same time, we already have a lot going on in the game. Is this something you don't want to know and make a decision about? Would you rather just have it be random? I think the dice are easier, and what you're talking about, you could easily do with dice too. You know, um, if you're, which one's the targeting dice again?
Yeah, you
This
can
one?
you can do it with that die, except if you're playing 2 players and if you keep rolling a color that doesn't exist,
Right.
who does it go after?
That,
So the
that's
cards let you take out the cards.
that's true. Yeah. Those were my initial thoughts. I don't know if any of that's at all useful, but that's just what I initially thought about it.
No, it definitely makes sense. There's actually the action deck over here has some dummy cards in it.
Okay.
That most of them are like return the monster to the middle, it heals up, or like just something other than an aggressive thing. Some of them are passive. But having one in this deck is interesting. I like having less cards so you can plan for it. I just in a 2-player game, if you only have a red and yellow card, you're just shuffling every 2 seconds. So you'd have to figure out some way to manage that.
Yeah.
Eric, what,
And
Eric,
dice are
what
fun.
It also
Dice are
drops your components way down.
Yeah, my first thought was it's just replacing one form of randomness with a different form of randomness. Instead of using dice, you're now using cards that are shuffled. And so I don't know if it really is going to fix the ultimate comment of, not enough agency in the monster. And kind of the first thing I'm thinking as a gamer shopping in the halls of Gen Con looking at games, when I see a game like this, I want to be the monster. I want to play as the monster, killing all the other people. So I don't know if there's possibility of you considering a 1v all rules variant or something like that. That's one idea that could fix the problem of randomness of the monster, is that an actual player is playing it. The other idea that I'm thinking is that the players have some sort of agency in either, once, maybe the player to your left gets to choose how the monster is going to move at the end of your turn in order to maybe affect how you're going to play. So you've got what, 6 colors, and how many actions can the monster do? 4 different actions, right?
It can attack, or it moves and then it attacks or uses its ability.
All right, so you'd have however many cards it is, the 6 colors and then the 3 options. So that's 9 cards. I'm the player to your left. I'll choose a color. I'll choose an action. Monster's locked in. Go ahead and do your turn. Oh, this is what the monster's going to do. Something like that, where the players are actually getting to make interesting decisions that are going to affect what that monster is going to do, ideally to their advantage. And that's just one idea. There's a bunch of other ways you can figure out how to do it, but that's what I want to do as a player. I want to make an interesting decision that's going to affect the way the game plays and how that monster moves, other than either 2 random dice being thrown or 2 random cards coming up and saying, oh, it's fortune, or it's not, one or the other.
Cool, that's great feedback.
I personally like the dice way more than the decks. You just introduced a bunch of problems that were caused by the decks that would need solving, and I don't think you actually fundamentally changed what was the complaint about the dice. And dice are more fun to roll when you're playing a game. And if you want, a blank side on the die, you can put a blank side on the die. That it doesn't have to be a card. I don't think you're gaining anything by switching to 72 cards. I'm not really convinced you're gaining production cost benefits by going with 72 cards.
Gotcha.
But that is not true. It depends on how many total units you print.
True.
There is a break-even point at which 72 cards is cheaper than 2 custom dice. But the more you print, the cheaper it is those 2 custom dice are. The fewer you print, the more expensive those 2 custom dice are. So the break even is, if you're planning on success, dice is cheaper. If you're planning on a very small print run, cards are cheaper. But to me, as a gamer, I would much rather roll 2 dice than fiddle with those decks. And like based on which players are in there, you got to add different cards to the thing and shuffle. I don't know. Yeah, I would much rather just roll dice. I do understand that it's a different type of randomness because the card deck is within a certain set of outcomes and each outcome will occur. And whereas dice can roll the same stupid outcome every single time, I understand it's different randomness. But as a player, as a gamer, I would rather just roll the dice. That being said, player, the stuff that Eric brought up, player agency is very intriguing. Whether it's a 1v all scenario or at the end of your turn, you decide what the monster does on their turn, or what, like you take your turn and then you take the monster turn and then the next person takes their turn and the monster turn, or whatever. Some some lesser direct control over it or whatever. Some sort of player agency in what they're doing is very interesting.
We did have it for a couple runs where the person controlled the monster after their turn for the next person.
To just go back and forth.
The comments were mostly like it's going back and forth,
Yeah.
or like they felt like they were just babysitting a 7th player. That was like,
right.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
But we've never done it where one person specifically controls the monster on purpose and plays as them and tries to win in that way. That would be really fun to try out.
That would be really interesting. But then you'd still have to figure out how does it work when there isn't someone controlling it.
Well, I think you would have to make it like there is always like, so one of the players at the table gets the monster card and is the monster.
Oh, I see.
And just everyone else is a player. Yeah.
That'd be an interesting thing to balance at different player counts. Yep. Not impossible. Definitely doable. And I think more interesting than the random move. But okay. Sasha says.
Don't look at Sasha's card.
Sasha says.
Is Sasha a good friend of you guys, or is he just?
Yeah. Sasha's a buddy. He's been on the show a lot, and he lives in town here with me, so we played games in person a lot too. Cool. Bob says I just stick with the dice. Do some market research and quotes. Sasha says the dice could randomize its style of attack. People love rolling dice.
It did that for a long time. It one time did go after the closest money, lowest health, highest health. There were dice for that. They're actually in a bag.
I think the monster could be a homing missile that changes targets based on something that could be semi-randomized. You're basically just talking about that. Generally, dice are more fun. Player agency with the monster is really tough. Has been considered in the past. Not had a good answer at this point. A DM as the monster is new. Okay, cool. Sounds like generally people think that the dice are better than the cards.
Have you considered a trader mechanic?
Like a character that trades, or just trading in general? One of your things, if you look at the bottom of your thing, lets you trade fame for fortune.
A traitor.
No, a trader.
Oh, a trader.
Somebody gets hit too much and then they become the demon.
No, that's an interesting thought, because earlier in the gameplay you had said that the monster wins and everybody loses if it gets 7 fame. And I was thinking, if I'm going to be the salty person at the table, oh, I'm losing this game, I can see he's going to win, I'm just going to move all my 4 people over here and let him die by the monster, just so everybody can lose. I had that thought.
People have done that.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I mean, if something happens, then you become the monster or whatever.
Yeah, people have definitely people have killed themselves on purpose just to have no players in the game, because there's a condition for that too. But it just became like a very niche thing that.
Yeah.
But I'm I'm definitely feeling out of this conversation. We're definitely going to try
It's
someone being
interesting.
playing as the monster, because that could just eliminate the cards and the dice completely, and you save
Yeah,
all the components.
that's really interesting.
Sasha says
You
again. Sasha says, "How about befriending the monster?"
no kiss the
Well,
monster.
I think it was really funny that you brought that up, because the threat shift, that advantage level up, is kind of like knowing the monster lore better than other people, so you get to like handle it in different ways. Threat shift might not be the best name. If you want to, if befriend a monster is like a better perk name, like you can tame it,
Monster lore.
I would have befriended it to go after Evan.
The watched token you're talking about, that sounds like a perfect example of a totally not necessary rule. By the way.
Hey, I'll take the feedback.
But yeah. So what else? Anything else stick out from this playtest or feedback that you got tonight?
I got a lot of feedback, which is great. I always do. I love it. Um, I I think I'm definitely gonna simplify some of the icons. I think that's important. Um, I didn't really hear. Obviously, always there's like someone that brings up comments which are addressed by like characters that people haven't seen in the
Yeah.
game, but you guys pretty much saw all of them, which is good. I guess some feedback I would like is like if I bring both of these here and then make them bigger. The artist I'm currently having make the assets for me, making them in kind of like a semi-childish fashion instead of like the murderous things you see on this card.
Uh-huh.
Does the juxtaposition work for you, or is it more like, does it more take you out of it?
Let me see.
I'm considering having the chibi models be like a bonus in the Kickstarter, and having the actual ones look like this, if it is a problem that they look so.
To me, it's a mismatch, but but really, I'm not the target audience for this game, so you'd have to kind of check in with that audience and see, people who love, arena battlers, do they want chibis
Gotcha.
when that doesn't gel with the rest of the art theme?
What do the people want?
What do
Got it.
people want? Some people might think it's awesome and hilarious. Other people are going to be like, that doesn't gel with the rest of the visuals of the game. So personally, my guess would be do it regular style and have the chibis be like some kind of like, convention um, goodie that they can only get if they come by your booth and pledge while they're standing next to you or whatever.
Gotcha. The collection booster magic cards.
That would be my guess, but I don't actually know that player base as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not your probably target audience either, but I would think that I'd either make them like this and the cards to match, or make them like the cards with the minis to match.
Got it.
I think it would be mismatched at the moment. And then it depends what you actually came up with as far as the cartoony figures. If they went even more cartoony versus the more realistic or the more magic looking kind of cards.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you like this style, I would lean your entire game and thematics into it
Right.
as a total kind of skin, you know what I mean?
Right.
Rather than just have the one-offs. But that's my instinct on it. I don't know how true or good that is, but
Yeah, I don't know that I'm right either. That's just my initial impression. What do you think, Eric?
I had the same impression. I would want them to match in looks. Otherwise, it just kind of takes you out of the ambiance of what you're selling, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to quick question on was, I know that the AI is a hot topic. Obviously, we're trying to kickstart it.
mm-hmm.
If there were 9 characters to start and 3 if there were 6 leaders, 9 characters, and 3 monsters, that's like 18 or so people. I think I think we could afford 18 people to make, or one person to make the art for 18 things.
Yeah.
But what some people have noticed is like, if everyone has a soldier, why not have the soldiers have different names and different art? They could be the same stats, but just it's like a more personal feel if they like say, I'm gonna send in Benny instead of soldier number 1.
That's yeah.
So AI is definitely helpful in that case because it definitely helps you make 72 assets really quickly. But then you have to very much like lean into the AI and get those people upset.
I think if any, I mean, lots of backers don't understand the financials of making a game. You cannot afford to make all of the soldiers unique unless you reach a certain level of funding. Essentially.
Yeah, or I used AI.
Or you used AI, and I think personally my opinion is that's not an option. And I would just make, commission the art, the one piece, and then have do the math and have a high enough stretch goal where it then does make sense to commission the rest of the unique soldiers at that stretch goal.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it's like that kind of thing. Both of those kinds of things will just kill you, money wise, unless the money's there. And if everybody's like, oh, dude, we get, all unique art for all 18 soldiers, at this level, then that can build excitement. But it doesn't screw you over when you don't fund by enough to actually have afforded that art cost.
Yeah. Smart.
AI, rightly or wrongly, I happen to agree that AI isn't particularly ethical, especially on Midjourney. There are some platforms that are a little more ethical, but that's still questionable. But regardless of personal opinion, the opinion of the industry will harm your attempts to publish this game. And that's like not debatable, really. I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just an opinion, but
No,
I
that's
think
that's what I was going to say too, Evan. It doesn't really matter what your public or what your personal opinion is on AI art. There are enough people out there that it could be a big enough issue that if somebody decides to make a big issue about this, it could torpedo your project. And I know they always say no no publicity is bad publicity.
That's not always true.
In this very, very small group of people that are gaming, people that make games, like I've met the heads of companies.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I've met that person. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like I've had designers that were like designers that you've got on boxes downstairs on your shelf.
Yeah.
That I've sat down for with like an hour of just them giving me their personal time. Everybody is so giving. Not everyone, but most people in this are very, very giving of their time. And they're probably not going to look fondly on AI art or anybody possibly not getting something for what they're. There's enough people out there that will put up a stink about it that will it's not going to get a good look for your Kickstarter. And the last thing you want to do is kickstart something as a first timer and already have somebody that's voting against you.
Fair, yeah.
That's my thought.
I was going to say, if you're not sure, you can always ask the Board Game Design Lab community on Facebook and just like put it as a post and see what they say.
That'll go over great.
Here is another one.
I could give you some names.
It sounds like a good way to go would be to, in advertising in the future, just consider the art, to be of this style, but to be done by an artist once we have the funding.
Exactly. And to me, there are people that have stronger opinions about it. I'm not a fan of AI art. I think it's very reasonable to use as a palette board.
Yeah.
As a whatever, as a, I forget what those are called, vision board. I don't know. Where you're like, this is the kind of general vibe we want, but obviously we're going to pay artists to make the real art. Like, to me, that's a fine use, but I don't know. I'm not the arbiter of what is and isn't right, but.
The question I always had is, what if the artist you hired then goes and gets AI art and passes it off as their own?
I mean, it is, maybe I'm jaded, but I'm sure that's happening.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard to fake if you're like, can you make his eyes red instead? And they're like, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
No, but almost any artist, I could open up Photoshop and change the eyes to red.
Yeah.
So like, not even a problem. Not even an issue. If as an artist, all you have to do is go in and fix the fingers. You know what I mean? Like, easy peasy.
I mean, you're publishing it. To my knowledge, it is artwork from a person,
Right.
And then it's not on you.
I mean, if that's specified in your contract, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because obviously in the contract there is some clause about, you are the sole owner and have the right to sell this, this imagery as your own, yada yada, and hold us not liable for the yada yada. Eric would know the correct terms, but but yeah, I'm sure it's happening.
I will say too, like if you have a soldier, because you have so much stuff going on, I actually wouldn't want a different picture for a soldier, because I can look at this and go, okay, I know that's a soldier. If I have another picture and maybe there's 6 other variants of it, I might be like, what is that? What is that? Oh, that's like, I have to read. Whereas I can quickly glance at this and go, oh, that's my soldier. Like, it's just a slight hair less of me trying to do something to decipher my card.
Yeah.
Like, I can pick it up and go, oh, that's a soldier. I've seen that 20 times because I've played this game 3-4 times already. Whereas if I pick it up and go, oh, I got to read it every time to see what it is. I mean, you can make variants of a soldier that's very obvious that it's a soldier. Look at Heat and their cars. I mean, there's 4 different variants, I think, of the car, but they're just getting closer and faster. So there are ways to do it. I just want them to be fairly close to each other so I can again pick it up and go, oh, this is a soldier.
The easiest way you could easily do that is just change the background color of each soldier if you wanted them different. Just give a slight hue differently to the background, but keep the actual person the exact same look.
Yeah.
Put a different setting or something.
Yeah, or a different border. That's an easy fix if you want a distinction without having to spend a lot of time on art.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, actually. Like, it is easier if all soldiers that are exactly the same mechanically look exactly the same. Like, visually, that is easier. And then if I look across and I'm like, oh, he's got a soldier, right? I already know what that means. I don't have to be like, wait, what is that guy? But there is going to be a group of people that are like, oh, it's not unique art. Which is why, if you care about that, make it a stretch goal, or whatever, make it an add-on pack. But I wouldn't do that. I would just make it a stretch goal. Yeah. Any other issues that or things that you wanted to run by us that we haven't discussed?
No, that was pretty much it. You guys are great.
You're great. Cool. Let's double check the chat, make sure we didn't miss anything, and then we'll get the heck out of here. Yeah, good point about Bob said, good point, Trevor, about quickly glancing and seeing the same art. Yada yada. And Sasha is still saying funny things. So let's get the heck out of here. Why don't we have Brian tell the folks at home where they can support you, find out about, like, if they want updates on this kind of game, this game, and where they can connect with you and support you, offer playtesting, that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, at the moment we have an Instagram at Emberleaf Games. You can find us there. Feel free to add us as a friend. We haven't posted anything yet. We're not going to start posting until like the end of June. But that'll be a good way to get on board right away. I'm not sure when to put the game online and like BBG. Uh, it sounds like I probably could already.
BGG.
Yeah, BGG.
That's
Just
there's
not ready for it yet.
different opinions on it. I think a lot of people have a stronger opinion on that than me. Basically, my opinion is don't put something up before it's final.
Yeah.
Or at least close enough to final where any changes that occur will not make what is up there incorrect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or put things up there that are generic enough that any changes you make will not make it incorrect. Any of that combination. Like, don't put prototype art up there, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So you can find us at emberleafgames at gmail.com if you want to email us to get involved with the playtesting. We have a Discord you can join. Just DM us either by email or on Instagram, and that's kind of the only way you can reach us right now. But if we do come out with more, I'm sure you'll see it on Kickstarter when we're ready.
Nice, awesome. Eric, where can people find and support you? Mastodon.
Oh, yeah, Mastodon. I have a Mastodon account with one post on it. I don't do a lot of social media because of my job. So
yeah, that makes sense.
The less I say is the better I say it. So
yeah.
Generally, yeah, you can find me. You can reach me on Facebook if you ever needed to reach out to me. Otherwise, I think the next I'm doing is Gen Con. So
are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I'll be at Gen Con.
Sweet, I'll see you there, buddy.
All right, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
If you want to meet up or something.
No, that'd be great. Trevor, where can people find and support what you're doing?
Oh, I don't know if I can handle seeing you guys having so much fun at another convention.
Oh, you're gonna have to come.
I can't come. Yeah.
You got a family?
Yeah.
A job? Lame.
Also live in Canada. I don't just travel to these spots. You got a better jumping off spot than I do.
I think we're like
yeah,
equidistant from anyway.
Yes, that's probably true. Yeah, if you like hidden movement, check out Alcatraz Escape the City on Facebook. There's also a Discord server that on that page that shows you how to get there. So, or sorry, the group. The page doesn't get much activity, but the group gets a little more activity. So yeah, Alcatraz Escape the City on Facebook.
All right. Evan Halbert, go buy 87 copies of After the Empire. And then as soon as the expansion comes out, probably at some point in 2024, go buy a bunch of those and pass them out to your friends, even though if they don't know what it is. And then I have a little card game in Emily Willicks's Bah Humbug collection. So go buy a bunch of those and pass them out to your buddies. And I have a couple other things that may or may not come out in 2024. We'll find out. And thanks, y'all. I had a great time. Eric, I'm so glad you dropped on and helped fill out the playtest. Trevor, thanks as always for being here. And Brian, it was a pleasure to meet you, man. Like I said, I'm really impressed with where this is at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I know it's a bad time slot for you, but I always, I love a stable of designers to jump on and play test other games. So, we'll get off here and then I'll bug you about that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So, thanks for bringing your game on. It was awesome. Thanks everybody for a lively chat. A whole lot of talk about segways and mall cops.
I'm gonna have a conversation with John later.
I think they were just like designing a game in chat, is what it looked like.
So
What they were doing.
I think that's the theme they want you to put on top is Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Mall cop. Yeah, I'll work on it.
Okay, everybody. It was a great evening, and we are